Kids Care Dental, where healthy teeth make happy kids.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Celebrate the 4th with freedom from high prices. The 4th of July savings sale is happening now at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Fire up your summer with 4th of July savings on a new Civic or Accord. Own or lease today at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time from
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Mercy, mercy me. The free agency is almost upon us. Just to set our lineup for you, we got Jay back today. How are you, Jay?
What's up, Wilson White and Gleason?
You excited about free agency?
I am not. Too careless.
I'm not surprised.
Man, got lives, man. One thing you got to understand, as much as I love sports, I still got a life. Sometimes I think we just dedicate too much to, to check out of other things that we're doing in life. I got nothing but love for sports. It's brought me a long place.
Yeah.
Started and ended in a long time, but I still got life. So ain't no need for me to be excited about free agency. I ain't getting the money.
All right.
You excited?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm interested.
No. Are you excited or not, man?
I'm not excited.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, it's like a curiosity, It's like, I'll tell you exactly how I'm feeling. By the way, Drapes should be with us any moment now. Is Drapes on his way to pick up Dennis Schroder at the airport?
He might be.
I can't say. That's something I couldn't say. I don't know. But, like the Kuminga thing, for example, Jay, and it looks like maybe that's cooling off for the Kings. But I would not, if they asked me, which they haven't, I would say I wouldn't sign Kuminga. But if they did,
in the same boat as you,
I would be really interested in it. It's like
really?
I wouldn't recommend you drive your car with a parachute in the trunk off a cliff. I'd say don't do it. But if you do it, I'm going to watch.
You're watching it.
Yes. So
I get you.
That's how I am with Kuminga. It's like, I don't think they should do that. But if they did, that would be really interesting.
I like the way you put that. I don't know if that's optimistic, but I like the way you're going. I guess I would be intrigued.
Yes.
I'm intrigued to see what some of these guys land. And shouts out to everybody, getting a check, getting their bag, getting their flowers, however you want to say it. If they work hard and able to cash a check, and salute to all the players that are able to get so. So yeah, I'm intrigued. As far as excited, no. And I mean, the Kings aren't in on really any big names to really flex the muscle, and so that's part of it. And the other part of it too is I think I've tried to temper my expectations compared to everybody else around us, where not everybody, but a lot of people. Some Kings fans, however you want to phrase it, because one thing can happen, and we'll talk about it, obviously. The Keon Ellis thing happened yesterday, and it's just like flooded. It's flooded between emotion and thought and, just sarcasm. It's just so many different ways that people are reacting to every single move of the Kings.
Yep, that's what I was going to bring up. I'm glad you got there first. I'm a little worried about the fan base, and they'll be fine, and I know that's the nature of it. But we know Friday – you weren't here, but Thursday, we were getting ready for the draft.
Yeah.
And as that pick approached, the 20th pick, the pick that a lot of people, we all thought maybe the Kings will get that pick. When they didn't, then on social media, people were really upset. And they were very, made sarcastic comments. Then they make the pick, as you know, Jay, and here comes Kyle Draper. Did you just pick up Schroder at the airport?
No, who?
You?
No,
did you pick up? Is that where you were?
The paperwork ain't signed yet. It's not signed yet.
But Jay, here's the thing. So then they make the pick and they sign Nick Clifford. People start going crazy. Then the next night, when they pick Maxime Renault, people are going, this is the greatest thing ever. And it's just like you say, it's just people getting a little carried. It's like a sugar high. It's not sustainable. And so I'm worried about, like you say yesterday, the Keon thing. All right, they didn't, or they picked up the option and maybe they'll extend them. Right. And people started going ballistic. What are they doing? This is the worst thing ever. And we're just as a fan base in a very vulnerable spot right now. True. With free agency upon us and all kinds of possibilities. I'm worried, Drapes. I'm worried, Jay, about how fans are going to handle all this.
Yeah, fans are losing their damn mind right now, man. Let's call it. Like they act like they traded Keon away to the Lakers for a bag of popcorn or something like that. Jay, you got Jay texting us yesterday. Oh man, what's going on here?
I didn't say all that.
You don't want me to repeat exactly what you said.
Repeat, because I tell you point blank, period. I think it shows and proves that they're not that tied to Keon like everybody believes they are.
Mm-hmm. Or I think they got some other moves up their sleeve and don't want to tie up cap space right now.
That's true.
That's what I'm thinking. Just got word their rookies will be introduced Thursday, July 3rd at 10 a.m.
Man, that's next week.
No, that's this week. That's like 3 days ago. So 10 a.m. Nick Clifford, Reno, Scott Perry, and Doug Christie.
Man, what you got to text? Let me see. Let me check my phone.
No, they just sent the email, bro. Come on, man, get with it.
Well, you're right. I probably
push notifications. You know what I mean? Turn on your push notifications.
Don't they know that's a holiday?
I know, right? Damn, you're right. That is a holiday, and I'm sure I have plans that day. I need to check my schedule. No, I'll be there, but yeah, I'm gonna have to switch some things around.
So how are you feeling about free agency? Jay and I were just talking. Excited, nervous, anxious?
No, I'm excited,
intrigued.
Especially if they sign my guy Schroder. I think, in my opinion, that's a slam dunk. I know a lot of people disagree. I see everybody out there on social media. That the issue I have with Kings fans right now is Dennis Schroder is an accomplished NBA veteran.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tremendous international player. He's had a phenomenal career. Not a Hall of Fame or anything like that, and I see tweets, this young man that Charlotte just cut, that's the kind of flyer we should take instead of Dennis Schroder. And it's like, this dude hasn't accomplished a damn thing, and we got a bona fide NBA veteran point guard.
Phenomenon.
Right? It's like, I'd rather have this undrafted guy instead of signing Dennis Schroder, and it's just I don't know what it is about Schroder. I don't know. Is it the narrative? Is it Kings fans just don't know what the hell they talking about? I don't know. But it's amazing. It's like anybody but Schroder out there. Oh, you knew who I was talking about. You looked him up right there.
Oh, I've been looking at him for weeks, and it's like, nope, he's not.
That's not the answer. That's not the answer.
He's not.
I don't know much about it. Yeah, but that's the kind of flyer Kings fans want,
right?
It's. Don't they understand Schroder is a stopgap, a year, max 2 years. I don't see it 2 years. I really see it a 2-year deal with a team option in the second year. Or you can move off of him. You can swing him in a trade at some point. And, there's a reason why Dennis Schroder, and I said this last week, has been on so many teams. Because so many teams value what he brings. He is a veteran. He's a leader of the locker room, plays good defense. Like, if you're a team trying to come together, he's that guy, man. And let's call it what it is. I've recited his numbers last season with Detroit, 28 games. Took 9 shots a game. It's not like he's chucking them up or anything like that. Come on, man. Sign Dennis Schroder and let's go out there and get a playoff spot.
When you first brought it up, I was like, man, I don't know about him. So, but I get it. But I'm not going to pretend like, oh, yes, it's great. But I am surprised, and I've always been surprised at the extent of the negativity when it first came up. Because people are like, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. It's like, well, wait a minute. I don't know that it'd be my first choice, but is he really that bad? It's a weird thing that's happened.
And I've seen Kings fans compare up, the Kings, this is George Hill 2.0. This is Vince Carter 2.0. And I'm like, look at Schroeder's track record. And I think he's only 31 years old. So let's not put him in the same category as Vince Carter. It's not like Schroeder's 37, 38, like Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook or anything. This dude, I'm not saying he's going to lead us to the promised land, but in terms of a stopgap, I like him.
Trey Mann's only 24.
Does he fit your criteria? He's young.
He's young.
That Christmas cake is very soft and moist.
It's very It's like wow, perfect. But
be careful. Be careful.
I know.
He's not a great defender, and I think that's one of the big things they're looking at. And we know we talked to Scott Perry Friday, and he talked about how important that is as they acquire talent this offseason. My guy Ty Jerome, and I've admitted it when I post about him, he's not a good defender. He's just not. And I think it's a really important thing here. Dennis Schroder he's not all league defensively, but he defends. He's scrappy.
Right.
He'll help you at that end.
Exactly. And he's a competitor too. And he's not backing down. He's not afraid of a smoke. He's a gamer, and I think that's what we need. And I think it's if they sign him, if they go that route, I like it. I like the fit. I like what he brings in the locker room. I like what he brings on the floor in terms of competitiveness. To me, in terms of the free agents out there, he's probably at the top of my list. What you got?
Oh, we got a lot of comments here on the YouTube chat. Dennis can't shoot, though. This will be a typical Kings free agent season. Everyone else will get the top and mid guys we choose from what's left. Wah, wah.
Who's the top and mid guys? Here's the thing. The top and mid guys aren't signing 1 and 2 year deals, Whitey. The top and mid guys are signing 4-year deals.
Or like Harden's deal.
Right, exactly. Or big money, 2 years, $40 million, $50 million a year. This is a transition period for Sacramento under Scott Perry. And I don't want to tie up 4 years and $120 million or $150 million for somebody. Not right now. This is a sort of I don't want to say a bridge year, but this is a stopgap move, I think, for Sacramento.
All right. How about this wrinkle? If the Kings don't end up with Schroder, which is still certainly a possibility,
right, very, very much
I think there'll be a surprise. It's been so widely reported that it's close to happening. We're all assuming. We're just kind of waiting on it.
Yeah.
We'll see. But if it doesn't happen, we will be surprised. There's also this, and I think this was Jake Fisher via the Stein line. Kings also looking at Westbrook and Malcolm Brogdon, looking at an additional ball handler, even if they sign Schroder.
Really?
What?
Wow.
What?
So what does that tell us?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
If this report is true,
Mm-hmm.
Devin Carter's not a backup point guard right now.
Yeah.
If they go out there and sign 2 point guards, that shows you the faith in Devin Carter being that backup point guard. Not saying he's not going to get minutes, but he's not the answer right now. And so
that would surprise me.
I was about to say that. That would be kind of shocking to me.
And I guess part of the appeal for Russell Westbrook, according to the speculation and the rumors and the innuendo, is, again, he'd be close to L.A.
Oh, yeah, close to home and everything. Yeah. And, I know for a fact that's, something that players consider when they look at Sacramento. It's just an hour flight from Los Angeles. How would you feel about Russ? Brogdon's sort of like oatmeal. You know what I mean? He gets the job done, but it's not flashy. Westbrook, he's up and down. How would you feel about that as a backup?
Yeah, he's so volatile. I don't know that he really. What direction does he help me go in? I don't know. Fans would be excited about it. There's something to be said about that. Fans are really excited about it. To me, he's not a good fit with what I'm trying to do.
Right.
What do you think?
No,
he's so
agree.
Erratic with his shot and a Hall of Famer and plays hard. And I know all that. Jerry Friday said, maybe some of that rubs off on your guys. Maybe that would be part of it. But I mean, Westbrook and, well, you don't know who else is going to be on the team, but you're already trending a little older.
Right. That's the thing. If we got a problem with Schroder taking the spot of a younger guy, what about a backup point guard in Russell Westbrook at his age? I agree with you. I think we just need one starting point guard, somebody that can play what Schroder can, in terms of durability. He'll be out there on the floor. And whether it's Devin Carter, whether it's somebody else, we got to have Malik Monk at that backup position. Malik actually thrived at the backup position. We just didn't need him 30 minutes as the starting point guard. But, you know, do you put the ball in Malik's hands? Is it Devin Carter? I think one point guard is probably good enough, especially because here's the thing about Russ. You know what Russ is? Tremendous player, future Hall of Famer. Russ is the high-priced backup quarterback that's a Hall of Famer that comes and sits on the bench, and everybody's like, Russ is Joe Flacco, if you will. Joe Flacco, everywhere he goes, all of a sudden he gets thrust somehow, and people are like, oh, look at Joe Flacco. We don't need that.
See, my fear is that he'd be more like a late career
Cam Newton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cam out there.
Like Joe Flacco.
No, but I'm saying, but Flacco can't, you know, it's like the veteran, and now you're looking over your shoulder at him. Cam Newton probably a better analogy because Cam Newton's flashy, got the big name, former MVP and everything like that. So, yeah, I don't think we need that type right now.
You know, it's possible that the Kings are trying what the Warriors used to call the 2-timeline thing, and the Kings haven't said that. Maybe that's not what they're doing. The Warriors famously announced it. This is what we're doing. We're trying to win now while we develop our young players. So maybe if the Kings bring in some of these veterans like Schroder and Westbrook while they've drafted young players, maybe they're trying to do something like that, which is interesting because one of the key figures of that whole push for the Warriors, which maybe didn't quite work.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Kuminga, and we're still hearing that he's a possibility now. Although you hear that, oh, yes, they're in on him more than they were, and now it doesn't look like anything's happening. So I don't know where that is.
I'm going to get to Kuminga in a second. Shout out to my guy Marcus on the YouTube chat, First Co. Dennis can shoot. LOL, folks don't know ball. That's what I'm talking about. But when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga, and you know, I've actually been a fan of his. Like, he needs some weird – I don't think Sacramento's a good fit for him. What are we giving up? Because it had to be a sign and trade, Whitey.
Yeah.
What are we giving up? People are saying Malik.
It would have to be something along those lines, right?
Okay, let's say. Who's coming off the bench?
Well, you'd probably have to get rid of somebody else as
Exactly. Now that's
yeah.
See, and here's the thing about Kuminga. Tremendous talent. If he comes here, because you said it, he's kind of a ball stopper.
He is.
He's a ball stopper. Yeah. Takes shots away from Keegan. I really think this year, as we try to win games, should also be about, and we'll see if we extend Keegan or not, should also be about, all right, Keegan, we need you to take a leap. Now it's your time, you know, because here's the thing, and we'll talk about this, I'm sure. Jabari Smith got paid, got his extension, but that's because Houston believes in him and they see what they have in him going forward. You see social media posts about Jabari Smith. Everybody's raving about his potential. I don't see that about Keegan. This might be the year he needs to come out there and show that.
By the way, have you just checked their numbers at all? It's interesting.
Pretty similar.
Yes,
right. Jabari, I think, only averaged 12 points a game this last year. But people predict great things for this guy for some reason.
Keegan's been a little better defensively, and Jabari Smith's been a little better rebounding-wise. But otherwise, it's like they're almost the same guy, at least in terms of the numbers.
Exactly. And I think, you know, it's I guess with Jabari, when you're playing on Houston and you got, you know, Van Vliet and Şengün, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, okay. But Keegan was losing shots to Harrison Barnes early on. Guys like that. It's like, come on, bro. Like, you're the number 4 pick. And so I think this is going to be a big year for him, man. We got to see what we got in Keegan this year.
I don't know if there's anything to the Kuminga talk, but if there is, I'm guessing, why would there be? He could be a guy, you know, as we talk about, well, you need a guy going forward who can be a star, better than a star. He could be that guy. I could see if you're the Kings, if you squint a little bit. Kuminga could be. Let's give him a shot. Maybe he's that guy. I still wouldn't do it. I was telling Jay just a few moments ago, I wouldn't do it, but if they did it, ooh, get your popcorn. That would be, That would be really interesting to see how that went.
Yeah. My issue with Kuminga, because I think he's a phenomenal player, can he be a lead guy, a number 1, 2 on a champion? Like, the way he wants to be a focal point of the offense, is that going to be conducive to actually winning basketball? That's what I worry about. He, you know, to me, he sort of fits in the mold of a Jordan Poole, meaning when Jordan Poole's a number one or number two, he's going to put up numbers, but you ain't going to get wins. We saw it in Washington, but when he's one of the guys, if you will, in Golden State, you win a title. And I sort of view Kuminga like that. He should go to a young team, maybe a Charlotte or somebody like that, maybe a Washington, maybe a Portland, somebody where he can get up some shots.
I think there's a lot of guys now coming into their own who are heavily influenced by Kobe, and they play kind of the way Kobe did. And Kobe was known for give me the ball and get out of my way. But the difference is between Kobe and, in this case, I'll say Kuminga, and I'm guessing a little bit here. I don't know Kuminga. Kobe, though, wanted to win more than anything. And some of the guys, I would say Kobe disciples, I'm not sure if winning is as important to them as getting their shots.
Right.
And with Kobe, it's like Kobe had to win.
Right.
And so, if you have a guy like Kuminga, and if I'm right, and again, in all fairness, I don't know if this is true or not, but if it's more important to him to get his numbers than it is to win, that's, I don't know if you want to hitch your wagon to a guy like that.
Yeah. And the thing about Kobe that people don't talk enough about, the drive to win, obviously on both ends of the floor, got to give him some credit for that. But his mid-range, he was lethal from elbow. Like, what's Kuminga's offensive game? He's more driving to the basket, get to the basket, and get to the line. But it's not like Kobe could score on all three levels. He could hit the three mid-range and get to the line and get to the basket, And so I believe when you talk about these Kobe disciples, they view it, to your point, as, I'm going to get buckets like Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
But Kobe was a competitor. He would die on that floor to get a W.
Yes.
And so there's a difference there.
Now, have you heard about the back and forth today regarding Giannis?
No, I have not. No, I've been
Wind Horse today on ESPN. A lot of teams that think they could trade for Giannis have been watching this very closely. Teams like San Antonio or Houston or Miami or New York, they specifically have stayed out of other major transactions, end quote.
So they still think
because they still think something could happen. And then Shams was on with McAfee, said this is someone who keeps things close to the vest. This is someone who always does things in quiet, but says the Greek Freak is open. He's open-minded regarding his future. So apparently there are still a lot of people around the league that are saying, keep an eye on the Giannis situation. How about that?
Well,
everything else going on.
What I hear when you say that, and I hear all these reports, Giannis has not closed the door. He has not come out and said, I'm staying in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee hasn't come out and said, we are not trading Giannis.
He doesn't want to be that I'm asking out guy, but at the same time, I'd be okay with that.
Right. If you're hey. Yeah, exactly. And so the fact that, the Knicks didn't do any kind of moves, and you hear the reports that they're like saving their assets for Giannis. There's other teams out there, Spurs could get him. There's talk Boston might be interested as well. And so, no, it's and I do believe Shams said there will be a lot of moves tonight in this offseason.
Yes.
So,
yes, that's correct.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the other Knicks news, Frank Isola, who's been on the show, says, as long as Jason Kidd is somewhat available, you can't close the door on him going back to the Knicks. But if he doesn't, Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. What do you think about that? Good for Mike, I guess.
Yeah, that's my main feeling.
But it's like, he's good enough for an Eastern Conference Finals team to be the head coach, but we got rid of him.
I can hear him now talking about we got to be better defensive. I can hear him already,
Right.
Because they weren't, even though they were a tips team, they weren't that good at that end last year.
No, they yeah, you're right. They were actually better offensively, which is anti-Tibbs, If he goes there, I'm happy for him.
Think if he goes there and then they get Giannis.
Dude, come on, right? Come on. And now the pressure's on him, though.
Yeah.
It's true. The pressure's on him now if he takes that job. But it's just like, this situation where you fire and get fired and stumble up. You know what I mean? Didn't have to go to some rebuilding franchise. You got a ready-made contender. It's not bad.
Isn't it just amazing how coaches have to coach? he's getting paid for the foreseeable. He doesn't have to do anything, right?
Right.
But he's got to get back into it. He's got to coach some more.
Yeah,
He's
it's in their blood,
That's what
right?
coaches,
Yeah,
they got to coach.
Exactly. Let me ask you this though, real quick, because something's annoying me, and I need to get Jay in on this. Jay, I don't know how much you on social network, as you call it. Whitey, I don't know how much you are on social network, but I feel like people just be tweeting just to tweet. Like they be twisting themselves in pretzels almost with some of their tweets. And I'm like, it's okay to sit out and let things develop.
But then sometimes it's like, I think the Kings are really good. 95 likes.
Right. It's like, is it feeding the beast? Like, what's going on here? Like, is it, I don't understand it. Like,
the way of life, man. It is.
You don't have to weigh in on every thought you have about the Kings does not need to be posted on social media.
I know. But I think the way you generate more followers and things is you got to just throw something out there, right? Even if it's not your best. Throw it out there.
Man,
throw it out
ridiculous.
there. How long has it been since I got to throw it out there.
Out of sight, out of mind. No doubt about it. You definitely have to put something out, and then people, and I've realized this too, and we've seen a bunch of aggregators start to pop up over the last couple of years in sports. Like those people have become and looked at, now they're looked upon as like insiders and analysts and reporters, when all due respect, you just aggregating what other people are doing.
No, you're right about that.
They eat and they getting the check. Shouts out to them. Some way or form or fashion, they must be making some money off of it. Why do it?
'Tis the season.
Yes, sir.
Right now is the time for that.
But they're not saying anything.
I know, Drake.
All right.
Bro, we come from a different cloth.
Right.
Old school.
Okay. All right.
Does LeBron opting in, pardon me. He's opting in with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So does that mean he's about to ask out? We got questions about Giannis, now even questions about LeBron and the Lakers. We'll look at those next as we await the start of free agency. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A+ Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. Then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Avery-Anna. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
NBA free agency tips off in 29 minutes and 45 seconds. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Some interesting comments here from the smartest listeners and YouTube viewers in radio and on YouTube. Tom Too Witty. Think how much we'd be talking about getting Bagley if he wasn't a former King. That's an interesting point. You know, he's got length.
Yeah.
Former lottery pick. If he hadn't been here, we might be going,
hey, that's right. And Bagley guy's available.
Yeah. Ellis EP. Guys, any thoughts on the possibility of trading for Jaylen Brown? I know we would have to give up a King's ransom, but Brown is basically a shortcut to what Scott is wanting to accomplish here. I saw something somewhere about a potential Kings offer, but I think it was sketchy, and I don't even
really. Yeah, you don't even want to go
there,
right?
I'm not even sure where it came from.
What would that even look like? I mean, we're not going to get into. I'm not going, but I don't know if we have the assets to actually truly pull it off.
You'd pretty much have to trade as much of your future assets as you could.
Pretty much all.
That would be stupid.
Yeah, you know, and let's not forget, we only got one draft pick in 2027 now. So, you know, and you can't trade in back-to-back years. So, you know, are we talking our 26, 28 for like, we don't even have the first rounders to really, I think, entice Boston anymore. And we ain't got the young talent. Like, you know, outside of Keon, who has shown some flashes, some promise, we don't have and you got to attach salaries too, Whitey. It's just, we're out on that.
It's going to make it hard to get Giannis then, isn't it?
Yeah, I know that bums you out. I know you thought we had a chance.
I thought we had it in the bag.
Not happening. Not happening.
A lot of people today talking about whether or not LeBron would be traded. Rich Paul had this statement after LeBron opted into his contract. LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie and Rob, and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that, are supportive, and want what's best for him. End quote. A lot of people heard that, read that, and said, ooh, LeBron might be wanting out.
Nah. Then Rich Paul went on with Chris Haynes on NBA TV and said, LeBron doesn't want out, hasn't asked for a trade, hasn't asked for an extension. You know, it's who knows? It could be Let's play it out and see where we stand after this year. Who knows? You know?
So Bobby Marks was asked,
yeah,
would there be any market for LeBron? Let's say LeBron did want to be traded. Bobby Marks, quote, to be sensitive to LeBron, who's considered one of the greatest of all time, there is not.
No market out there.
No market. He's making $53 million. He's in the last year of his contract. He's 40. I talked to numerous teams yesterday and asked the same question. Would you give up basically the farm? Basically, you'd have to give up 4 or 5 players to get LeBron for 1 year. The unanimous answer was no. They would not. So maybe this is LeBron being LeBron, and he does have a habit of trying to encourage, pressure the Lakers into doing a little more.
Yeah, put a little leverage on them a little bit.
And at this point, they're like, okay, what are you going to do?
Right. Or it could just signal this the final year. He might hang them up. Retire after this year.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Maybe they get Walker Kessler. Maybe they get
your boy DeAndre Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
See that buyout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all signs are pointing to LA as the team. What do you think about that? Is that unfair? And not saying DeAndre Ayton's a good player or anything, but he is a former number 1 pick, can average a double-double, and now all of a sudden he's going to be motivated when he goes there probably. That's not
I know there's a lot of people saying that's, the league has it set up so he's going to the Lakers. I mean, it's fair. Other teams could have.
It sucks, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe. Maybe it doesn't. If he goes there and he's as unmotivated as he's been and it blows up in their faces,
right.
Oh, well. You see what our buddy Eddie Johnson said on
what he said
about him. He said, I think it was along the lines of, he's a very talented player, but, very talented. But yeah. Walker Kessler might be a better fit for them.
Yeah, but how they getting him? Swinging a trade? Give up some future assets?
Dalton Connect.
I don't know what the first.
Tell me what the Jazz are doing with the trade they made
with Sexton.
Sexton.
Yeah,
and,
for Nurkic.
Number 2 for Nurkic. When I said number 2, a second round.
Dude. Yeah. We can't put together that kind of package.
What's going on there?
I don't understand it. I don't. And you gave up the second round pick.
Yes, sounds like a sweetener.
Yeah,
to give up Sexton for Nurkic.
Right.
And Nurkic it's close, but he makes a little more money.
Does he? You think they might be trying to?
I don't know what.
Because you got Kessler. So is Nurkic your backup center?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
Reading some of the trade evaluations because people know it's Danny Ainge, so no one wants to give them a low grade. On the surface, like that's the worst trade ever, but C+. Why? I don't know. There must be more to it.
Oh, they gave him a C+?
Something like that. Yeah.
I have no idea what Austin Ainge is doing out there. I mean, they buy out Clarkson. You saw that too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what direction they're going in. Like, I thought Sexton would have more value. Like, and you had to, attach a sweetener to it.
Yes.
For Nurkic?
That's a baffler.
Right.
That is an absolute baffler.
Doesn't make sense.
By the way, we like Clarkson, don't we, Jay? Aren't we all Clarkson?
I'm all in on Clarkson.
Where Clarkson playing? Where he getting minutes?
He's playing at the dog position.
Where is he getting minutes?
There's some guys I'd be taking some minutes from for Clarkson.
Who we talking about then, player? Who we talking
about? A few of them that probably ain't gonna be here, player.
Because here's the thing: you got Zach and DeMar starting. If Malik is still
allegedly,
if they're here, they're starting.
Okay.
They're starting. You got Malik coming off the bench.
Here comes Clarkson.
After Malik, or
yeah, what's wrong with that?
Before Keon Ellis or after Keon?
For me, I'd take Clarkson, but Kings fans would take Keon.
Nah, yeah, Keon is Mitch Richmond 2.0. The way people acting out here.
Huge fan, and he's proved
a baller.
It somewhat.
He's
done his thing.
This may be an old-fashioned way to look at it, but I still think of there's guys that are really good sixth men, and Clarkson's one of them.
Yeah.
But so is Malik.
I know.
Oh,
I know that.
We already got one of those, right?
I know.
Is that kind of redundant?
They're not all going to be here.
I don't think.
Although you're right. I mean, you have a log jam as it is. If you swap out a guard, bring in a guard, you still have a log jam.
Yeah,
that's a fair point.
That's and moves may be made, trades may be made, and we'll see. But with Clarkson, I got to imagine the time is now, though. Like.
Yeah.
If we're going to make moves and everything, we got to do it now because Clarkson's he's going to get snatched up by somebody.
Oh,
yeah. There are
quickly.
reports, I think some contenders are interested.
Yeah.
That's tough for the Kings to compete.
Right.
If he has a chance to go to some really good teams. But as far as picking up Keon's option yesterday, and we talked about how some fans were offended that they picked up his option, you think it's a solid move?
I think it's a move that Scott Perry understands the ramifications. It's not like he, picked up the option and then saw on social media, you know what this means, Scott? He might become a unrestricted free agent. And he's like, oh man, I shouldn't have done it. Like, he clearly understands the CBA, the cap, the contracts, and everything like that. I honestly think, this is just my gut opinion, he's already had the conversation with Keon in Keon's camp. We are doing this as a procedural move so we can accomplish A, B, and C, and our plan is to extend you during the season when we're eligible.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it's going to go. And Jay texted, maybe he's not a Scott Perry, Keon might not be a Scott Perry guy. I don't know about that.
Is he, but this the thing, and I didn't say this also, but I've said this numerous times. I think this year for Keon and Keegan, you guys talked about it just real briefly, this is a proven year. And to me, that's why I say he picked this up, this chump change, 2.5, he got that in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But I think up until February 6th, he has the opportunity to extend them. They can work out a deal. But if he is part of your plan, as much as you're looking for the money now, it kind of lets me know, like, you're willing to let him go.
Maybe, but I think even if that's true, I don't know if it is or not. Even if it's true, that makes sense to me too. I mean, to me, the whole thing made sense from when we first saw the options. Yeah. You pick up the option and then you extend them. I mean, to me, that's like, that's what you do. That way, also, you never put them out on the open market at all.
Right.
But let's say Jay's right. I don't know if he is or not, but let's say he is. That's why teams have restricted free agency. You use that to your advantage. Make him prove it if he has to prove himself to Scott Perry. Again, it looks like I agree with you, Drapes. They've probably talked, but there's nothing wrong with a team taking advantage of that opportunity and figuring out, Jay talks about the plan. I think the plan is still pretty fluid.
Right.
We like this guy, but if that guy does better, that could all change.
Right.
So it does give you a lot of flexibility. And I don't understand the point of view that, they're disrespecting Keon. Oh, they're causing. Maybe I missed some, but I don't get that at all.
Dude, that one took off like wildfire yesterday. I mean,
who started it?
Who did start?
I don't know. I felt like I logged on and people were just going.
It was just going.
That fire was raging.
Yes. And here's the thing: who knows what Keon's camp wants out of an extension? Maybe, they wanted $12 million a year or something like that. And Scott's like, we can't do that, but so we're going to pick. You know what I mean? Maybe they wanted to extend them and couldn't come to an agreement. And because the deadline was what it was, we had to pick up his option.
Even if they don't extend him, then he's restricted and you still have the right to match.
Is he restricted or unrestricted? Unrestricted. That's what people are saying. Yeah, that's the problem. That's where people are losing their damn minds over. But here's the thing.
Thank you for the correction.
And we all love Keon. We love Keon. But we'll be able to offer him, I believe, more than anybody else.
Yeah.
2, when it's time to win a championship, compete, what's Keon Ellis on our team?
Well, I like where you're going, Drapes. You're starting to come to my side a little weird here.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Because I've always said you move by winning a championship. You don't move by trying to appease what's going on.
Right.
Every person and every player that I'm looking for when it comes to an organization I'm evaluating them in the form of, can I win a championship with them in some form or fashion, whatever position, and front office, coach, down to player personnel, down to the PR. Can I win a championship with this group of people? And I truly believe there are some people, and I say this, Kings fans are the best because we accept whoever comes this way as one of us. But we get super attached to people that in reality, we don't have no business getting attached to. It's okay to say your family, but we're going to go ahead and let you go play for somebody else.
Yeah. What do you think of the way the Kings handled the Keon situation over the weekend? Conversation continues when we're right back with free agency nearly upon
Tired
us.
of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year, my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school, in stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In store, online, and on the app. In Sync 23 while supplies last.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but has been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento, and I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 77 years. Look for made in America brands like Stickley, Bassett, Stanton, Trailway, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sales event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West rating 2011 renewed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers, out with that strained left oblique, started his rehab assignment last week with AAA Las Vegas. His expected return is July. Zach Geloff, out with that stress reaction in his ribs, continues his rehab in AAA Las Vegas and is targeting a return during the A's 9-game homestand in early July. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
A lot of angst around here over the way the Kings handled the Keon situation, picking up his option, so then they have a chance to extend him. But if they don't, thank you, Drapes and Jay, he could leave as a free agent from the 916. Good free agents historically don't sign with Sacramento. So letting a good player potentially walk for nothing as a Kings fan hurts. Now Keon can walk for nothing. That's the biggest problem.
So they want us to hold him hostage, you know?
You've got every chance to sign him.
You still can sign him.
Yeah,
right.
You can extend him.
Right. And here's the thing. If Keon doesn't want to be here, he wasn't going to sign this extension anyway,
That's a
right?
great point.
You know,
Right,
it's like,
right.
come on, man. People are losing their minds over this.
Mm-hmm. They just don't have a lot of faith in the Kings doing things the way they should do them. Hopefully this is a new regime here.
Yes.
A lot of positive indications that it's different now. This is almost like just residual stress or something. It's PTSD. Kings fans PTSD.
Yep. It's we got to take a deep breath, Kings Nation. We got to take a deep breath. And everything, like, we're so volatile right now. Like you started the show off with, Whitey. Draft picks. Oh, man, Scott Perry's a genius. Don't, pick up the option on Keon. What is he doing? It's like, we got to stop doing this back and forth. Like, it just is. Even the Dennis Schroder situation. If they signed Dennis Schroder, remember we had somebody text in or you. I'm done. Campio said, I'm done. If they signed, I'm like, what are we doing? And speaking of Schroder, our guy, Keith Smith, friend of show.
Spot Track, right?
Spot Track. His top 5 available free agents by position. Number 1, Josh Giddey. Restricted, though. Our guy, Giddey. Restricted, though. So that's not happening. Number 2, Dennis Schroder.
Ooh.
Exactly. Number 3, Chris Paul. 4, Malcolm Brogdon. 5, Russell Westbrook. So according to Keith Smith, Dennis Schroder is the top unrestricted free agent at the point guard position on the market.
Bearing the lead, though, a little bit there. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon is 4th. That tells you that there's
and Westbrook's 5, though, too. How about that?
Yeah. You could get 2 of the top 5 available free agents.
Well, why not 2 of the top 4, Whitey? Why not get Brogdon and Schroeder? No, but that tells you the crop isn't that good. And it's like that really for every position. I'm looking at shooting guard. Grimes is restricted. We all like, I think, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but Bruce Brown, Cam Thomas, he's restricted. Karis LeVert, I mean, small forward, Taurean Prince, Amir Coffey, Torrey Craig. I mean, it's just, there's not much out there in terms of free agents. Really.
I think a lot of that, too, is because teams now, when they have a guy they like, they make sure they keep him.
They lock him up, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or, like I mentioned last week, somebody said this on social. An insider said, what you see happening is guys get traded and then they extend after they get, like Durant's about to sign. Jimmy Butler, we saw re-up with Golden State during the season. So that's what happens now. Guys don't even get to free agency anymore.
Look at your boy number 4 on the power forward list.
Oh, hold up, Jay. You
missed that one, huh?
Oh, Al. Oh, no.
Power forward.
Jake LaRavia. I didn't even see that. Ooh. I did miss that. Wow.
After Yabusele.
Yeah. And Dorian Finney-Smith?
I saw a story today. I believe the report was that Rob Pelinka was telling other teams that Dorian Finney-Smith had a bad knee in order to discourage them from signing him. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, I guess, found out.
You buying that? I don't know if I'm buying it.
Yeah, I'm buying all.
Are you buying that?
Yes.
You buying that one? Okay,
I am.
Buying that one. All right. That would be if your own GM is, pouring salt in your game.
Dorian, I just didn't want anybody else to get you. You're that valuable to us.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. What you got? What else?
From the 510, isn't Kuminga more of a 3-4? How would that affect Keegan? We'll get more into Kuminga top of the hour. Kuminga's an interesting case. He's become more of a 4 than a 3. I thought he was going to be more of a 3. He can play both. But if you had Kuminga and Keegan in your front court, you got a very young, athletic front court with a lot of potential at both ends of the floor. I think how he would affect Keegan, and you talked about it earlier, Kuminga wants the ball and he wants to get some shots up. And again, that would put Keegan further down the pecking order. It's like, how much longer can they keep doing that?
Right.
Expect him to develop.
Right, exactly. Now's his time. And if you did get a guy like Kuminga, I almost think you got a clean house with that starting lineup outside of Domas. Like, I don't see how Kuminga fits in with a Zach or DeMar DeRozan. I just don't see it.
Mhm.
And so you probably got to clean some house out there if you decide to go that route.
What do you make of what Zach Lowe said? Now, I don't know if this was Zach Lowe saying, I'm here and they could do anything, or if it was Zach Lowe saying he just doesn't know what the Kings are doing. I'm paraphrasing, but on his podcast, he said he wouldn't be surprised at anything the Kings do. And to me, when I look at that, I thought, okay, he just doesn't know what they're doing, but I think they do. I wouldn't say that. They got a lot of things they're looking at, but I do think they have something resembling a plan. I don't think everything's on the board.
So you don't think everything's on the table?
Not
depending
everything.
on the offers?
Yeah, like for example, I don't think they're going to go out and get a big name player like I know he's not a free agent, but Trae Young or Holiday. I think we know that those guys are not the type of players they're interested in.
Okay. I thought he was talking about in terms of the roster, meaning nobody's safe, if you will. Everybody's up for grabs. And that's how I took it. Yeah, I agree with you. The Trae Youngs of the world, I don't think. But outside of that, I could see the Kings doing, depending on the offers and the packages. Like, I don't know if Scott's, married to anybody right now. You know what I mean? Like, we got to keep this guy no matter what. He's our future. I don't know if it's like that.
My feeling is that is their philosophy now, but only because it's the reality. It's like these guys don't have much value. There's not a lot of demand for them. So, all right, then we're going to build around. They're our guys.
Right. Exactly.
That's what I think. Like, I don't think Domas is going anywhere.
No,
I think if there was a lot of interest, maybe there would be.
Right. I don't think so. And I feel like that has sort of quieted down all the Domas talk.
Right.
As of lately. And so, yeah, I hear you on that. I'm with you. I'm looking at some of these text line options, and I know we'll talk about Kuminga coming up. 209, I take Kuminga over Keegan any day. Keegan could be Kuminga's backup. Damn. We relegating Keegan to a backup now? Is that what we're doing?
That's Trey Man syndrome. Like I said, Trey Man, get him.
We got to get this guy.
The greatest. Right. Grass is always greener.
Always greener. Mm-hmm. Like somebody said about Bagley, right? If he hadn't played for Sacramento, and it's like,
I'm too witty.
We should take a flyer on him.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard. Here was my view on Kuminga.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be redundant. I mentioned this to Jay. If they asked me, should we get Kuminga? I would say I wouldn't. But if they got him, I would be very fascinated to see what happened. Kind of like if someone asked me, should I drive my car off a cliff with a parachute in the trunk and see if it opens? I would say, no, but if you do it, I'm going to watch.
You're going to watch.
Yeah. That's kind of how it is with Kuminga.
So is that that's messed up, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll see if you can pull it off.
Right,
I wouldn't
it's like a train wreck out there.
Yeah.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, if you pull it off, I want to see that.
Yeah, that's it's hard. I got to squint real hard to see Kuminga in a Kings uniform and what that would look like.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I mean, I'm not for that.
All right. When we come back, we'll look at another report that says the Kings and Kuminga may actually be a thing.
Okay.
Next, and free agency is just minutes away.
Yes.
Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Celebrate the 4th with freedom from high prices. The 4th of July savings sale is happening now at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Fire up your summer with 4th of July savings on a new Civic or Accord. Own or lease today at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
This summer, give your kids a reason to smile, brightly. At Kids Care Dental, we make dental visits fun with a kid-friendly team, easy to schedule appointments, and expert doctors who really care.
Whether it's a checkup, a cleaning, or their very first visit, we've got you covered. We accept most insurances, and we're always ready when your schedule gets hectic.
Smiles grow here. Book online in minutes at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com. Kids Care Dental, where healthy teeth make happy kids.
Join the Sacramento Rivercats on Saturday, July 19th. It's Star Wars night at Sutter Health Park. Dress as your favorite character, enjoy themed fun, and soak in peak summertime baseball. Star Wars night tickets on July 19th are available at rivercats.com.
Michael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that, or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The 4th of July, it's all about family, fireworks, and freedom. And this 4th of July, Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is offering your family the freedom to choose America's brand at the guaranteed lowest price in town. This 4th of July, the fireworks are starting early at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You can check out one of Northern California's largest selections for yourself at sacssuperstore.com, where you'll find the lowest prices on the new Ram, Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, the whole lineup. Centrally located across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course, and visit them online to see their full selection and their guaranteed lowest prices at sacssuperstore.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Welcome to free agency. NBA free agency negotiations can now commence officially, but nothing can be officially completed until Sunday, July 6th. But of course, if a team comes to an agreement with a player, they can still announce that they've come to an agreement. They just can't actually sign it till Sunday. Thanks for being with us. We have some incredible comments already, questions, observations on the text line, the YouTube chat. How about this? What did you clowns think of my breaking news today? That's from Grant Afseth.
He's still checking us out, huh? He's still listening. Props to him.
Yeah, from the 530. Keon and Kuminga both belong in the G League.
Who said that? Grant Afseth?
No, that was somebody in the 530. Oh, my God. I don't know. 916, one of my favorite things to do is watch people drive their cars off cliffs with a parachute. I'm in.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that would be interesting to watch. Keegan moves to the 3. I think he takes a step up. Just got to get DeRozan out. So there's a lot of mixed emotions and feelings and animosity and anxiety today. Our friend Matt George just tweeted something to the effect of the Kings don't intend to let Jake LaRavia go, but of course it's not entirely up to them.
Yes. And he said, Matt George, the Kings still are limited to how much they can offer LaRavia. So another team could swoop in and snatch him away with a bigger contract.
Yeah.
Anything new about any of those tweets or, Like we knew that. That's man. What are you doing? This is what I'm talking about, Jay. We've known that for the last 3 months regarding Jake LaRavia. We only can offer him up to a certain amount, and another team can swoop in. I feel like guys are just out there tweeting just to be heard. It's like hey, look at me over here. I'm tweeting.
How many likes for the first one?
183.
See,
This
there
is
you go.
ridiculous.
There you go.
Drake, stop falling for the banana.
Nah,
Why
wish
you setting you up, man? You
If
know
I
what I'm
didn't
saying?
work with a team, I'd be out there tweeting also, man. I'd be out, just to have fun with it, just
True.
to
Very true.
mess with people.
Yeah, 183 and counting.
And it's going up.
Yeah, to point out that Kings really like Jake LaRavia and they'd like to keep him.
Right.
That's well played right there.
I guess.
But is
it? Nah, people falling for it.
Yeah.
It's accomplishing
People like
with
it.
yeah.
They appreciate it.
People
They
want.
literally like it. It's like I'm
They
going
hit
to
the like
like
button.
that. Yeah.
Unbelievable. What was the second one though? That I want to see how many people like that, because that's the one where it's like, dude, we already knew that, we knew we can only offer him a certain amount. All right, so the Kings still are limited to how much they can offer LaRavia, so another team could swoop in and snatch him away with a bigger contract. So that was 4 minutes ago. It has 35 likes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you this, and I understand your point, but Matt George was pretty clued in about the whole LaRavia thing when he came here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he knew that before. You may remember I told you guys about it, but I got it from
Matt
him.
George. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the LaRavia whisperer.
Maybe
if
he
you will,
is.
You
He
know,
very well may be. Yeah. Jonathan Kuminga.
All right. Yeah. I know. I'm about to keep it going, but all right, I'll move on, Jay. I'll move on.
You know who's the king of that? I think what you're talking about is the guy who sits here in the morning.
Who, Alan? Oh, Carmichael Dave?
And I mean, he has a massive, massive social media following. Make no mistake.
I guess.
And he's cultivated it for you.
What? No, Jay telling me not to fall for it. Why are the people falling for
That's what they like. They like it. So he gives them what they like.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Done that for a long time. According
I'm
to
not falling for it. I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut.
It's factual. Although the Heat, this is from, let me just get my sources right here.
Yeah, get that right.
I think this might be, it's not the Steinline. Although the Heat and Bulls are still in the mix right before the start of free agency, the Sacramento Kings have seemed, listen to this, the Kings have seemed to substitute themselves in place of the Nets as a prime Kuminga destination.
Huh?
Sam Amick of The Athletic was the first to report on Sacramento entering the mix for the Warriors forward. Since that was reported, our boy Anthony Slater, I believe he said things are slow on the trade front involving the Bulls and the Heat for Kuminga. So now they're looking at, Kuminga's camp, they're looking at free agency. But whatever happens with Kuminga, free agency, a potential trade, the Warriors are expected to take their time with it. So I don't know if the Kings are involved in that or not, but it looks like it's going to be a long drawn out process.
Right. Yeah. So, man, and I have an answer regarding Kuminga for a while, is what you're saying?
I think the Warriors are going to sort through all the options, including keeping him.
Okay. I keep getting these notifications, and I'm thinking of Shams or something like that. But it's people retweeting and liking Sacktown Sports posts. It's like,
okay.
Yeah, so we got a post out there that says free agency has started.
Good.
And so I keep getting the notifications. I'm like, all right, free agency's off to a whack start. It's already 6 minutes in, and we don't have anything. Remember back in the day, fellas, when it used to be at like midnight Eastern, 9 o'clock, and, it would be a flurry.
Well, you had some bigger names that were involved then, did we not?
Yeah.
As you said, look at the list you just ran down for us.
It's kind of
great careers they've had, but where Malcolm Brogdon goes as a free agent is not going to nationally move the needle. We'll get excited if he comes here, but it's not going to be, live break-in update on ESPN.
Yeah. All right. I got all excited for 3 o'clock, and it's here, and crickets.
The reason what did you say? It's off to a what start? What was the word you used?
Whack start,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. Whack.
The reason it's off to a whack start for me locally is because I just
see my boy Josh Hart. Sorry to cut you off.
No, please.
Josh Hart said it's 6:01. He tweeted this out. It's 6:01, and I ain't seen a deal yet. What's happening to the game I love? That's what I'm talking about. What's happening to the league, man?
I just not sure how big of a swing the Kings are going to take. Other than bringing in Schroder, I'm just not sure what to expect, and I'm interested, but I'm also a little just unsettled about it. I don't know what we're trying to do here, we being the Kings. Tell me, help me, Drapes. What's going on?
I mean, there's two things, Whitey. There could be the Schroder signing and Jake LaRavia. If Scott Perry accomplishes those two things, I think that's a very good free agent period for the Sacramento.
Even though he already
Kings.
botched the Keon.
Right,
According
people
to
are
many
losing
fans.
their mind over that. No, I think you because we also got to remember our draft picks. You got the big man Reno, out there, a stretch big for you. You got our guy Neek, a 6'6" wing that you could play. You add LaRavia, you add a point guard. Now you're starting to be a little bit more balanced, if you will. And so and we listed some of the other free agents out there. If it ain't Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I'm not interested in 90% of these guys.
I don't think fans who are upset about the possibility of Schroder coming here, I don't think it's so much Schroder as it is what he represents for them. Another veteran. We're going to bring in another older guy who's been on a lot of teams. Aren't we going to get younger?
Right.
And there's also the fact that when he had his first media conference, Scott Perry said, we don't have a pure point guard or a true point guard. I think he's a true point guard. Is Dennis Schroder a true point guard?
Got breaking news according to Chris Haynes.
Here we go. Do you need the stinger?
Sting
him!
Sting guy, you guys decide.
It'll be a kind of practice for us. It'll be a drill. Go ahead, Jay.
No, wait, Jay. Come on, man. He falling asleep back there.
I'm actually listening to Chris Haynes on NBA TV talking about ain't nothing going down.
Dog, he just tweeted something 4 minutes ago.
Nothing going down, but I got it for you.
All right, let me this guy.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Our guy, Chris Haynes, Elk Grove's finest. Sources, Sacramento Kings have arranged meetings by way of Zoom to talk with Dennis Schroder and Russell Westbrook. Kings looking to acquire both, but have other point guard options to speak with. That's on the record, Chris Haynes saying they are looking to acquire Westbrook and Schroder.
They're looking to meet with him.
Kings looking to acquire both.
Oh, okay.
He says, but have other point guard options to speak with as well. They'll talk to some other ones, but they're hoping, according to this, looking to acquire Westbrook and Schroder.
Wow, that's odd.
How we checking them out? Via Zoom?
Via Zoom, yeah. Hey, guys don't even fly out anymore and no in-person meetings. Dang. What you make of that? How you feeling? That's something, right?
It is something. Yeah. I hate to see what you'd say about that if Matt George tweeted it.
No, I'm telling you, man, because Chris Haynes, here's the thing. He's the first one that I think put his name and said they are looking to acquire both. Not that they may try to, not that it's a possibility.
Right.
They are looking to acquire both. That's something. That's new stuff right there.
Jake Fisher, Steinlein had something along those lines yesterday. I thought the everything with Schroder was a little further along than, all right, we're going to have a Zoom meeting. And maybe it is, right? Maybe it is.
Well, I think technically
you
couldn't have talked to his representatives until 11
wait.
minutes ago. Right, right.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed that out, I think, on the YouTube chat. That the reason we don't have any deals listed is because teams don't want to get busted for tampering. Remember, we used to be like, how all these deals get done and it's been open for 30 seconds, right? So teams are taking their time with that.
Doesn't the NFL have they literally call it a legal tampering period?
Yes. Yeah, the NFL. Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah, exactly. Like a week or so, or a couple of days or something, where you just anything goes, right?
Yeah. All right, that's something. How is
that's something, right?
Not just a veteran point guard, two
veterans,
veteran
looking
point
to
guards?
acquire both, according to Chris Haynes.
It's not horrible, but I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Where's the money coming from, though?
But you got
the
a couple of
MLE gonna bust that down for two OG point guards?
You got a couple of mid-levels,
right?
You got the biannual, and you got
traded
your
player, and then you got the MLE.
MLE, yeah. So there's ways, and I would imagine Westbrook you could probably get for the biannual.
Yeah,
and Schroder, you may not even have to give him the full
Dang.
14.1.
You think Russ is signing somewhere for $6 million?
Yeah. Look what he did last year. Yeah, I got it right here, Jay. I think last year was less than that.
Really?
In Denver. Yeah, when you look at how much he was paid last year, I got it right here. Russell Westbrook
got 19
last year in Denver, $3.3 million.
Oof. Wow.
Yep. 3.3.
And that was that at the end of the deal prior to that, or he didn't sign a 1 year with them like that for it, right?
Signed a 2-year, $6.8 million contract. So he signed 2 years, 6.8
his option
with the player
year,
option.
right?
Yeah, the second year. That's
Dang,
nothing.
that's
Jay.
nothing.
I know.
That's the other thing, not to walk backwards, but on Keon, by doing what they did, picking up his option, then you have a clear idea what your finances are now going into free agency, right?
Exactly.
They've got this slot for you. You get your 2.1,
Right.
2.3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I don't understand it, Drapes. Two veteran stopgap point guards. There's something here I'm missing.
It signals a couple things to me, Whitey. One, Scott Perry doesn't think we have any point guards on the roster that can fill in. You know what I mean? Because if you sign 2 point guards, that means what? Devin Carter's your third point guard? Like, you wouldn't do that for a second-year player. Maybe they don't view him as a point guard, just a guard out there. And I understand the narrative, get some veteran leadership, that kind of thing. But I just don't see it. Like, it just – and I think Russ does have some value off the bench. In terms of change of pace guy, energy guy, we need that. We do need that. But are you bringing him in at the detriment of developing some of your younger players, the Keons, the Devin Carters, the Neeks? That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, here's an interesting question from the 916. How could they acquire both with as little salary cap room as they have? Well, that's why they're called exceptions. When you have an exception, it's like you can go beyond what your limitations are. That's why it's called an exception. Right. And we think that they would be using for these players the biannual and probably the mid-level exception.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the answer to that. The thing that doesn't sit well with me is that last year, the roster, just about everybody that looked at it said, you got kind of some older guys and it's an unbalanced roster. Now I know that if you bring in both those guys or even one of them, then they play a position of need for you. But still, again, if you had DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Russell Westbrook and Valanciunas on your roster and Dennis Schroder. My goodness, it's a bunch of veterans that are probably not going to, it's not like you're trying to win 55 games or something. That's just not realistic. Right. So it's a little befuddling. Again, it speaks to me. Maybe they're trying to do two things at once. Win now as many as they can while developing the younger players. I don't know, Drapes. That's an odd one.
That is odd. It's, like you said, those two timelines, it doesn't make, because now you're talking about two stopgaps at point guard.
Right, right.
Like, what are we doing here? Real quick, Shams did just tweet out that Jaren Jackson Jr. and Memphis, a new 5-year, $240 million contract. So young fella getting paid. Good for him. But yeah, no other free agent news. Oh, Chris Haynes did say that Chris Paul is choosing between the Phoenix Suns and the Clippers. Interesting. Jay said text. Jay just hit us up on the text. Let me see. Jay, according to Jay, all right.
I got sources right now.
All right. He's got the Chris Haynes sound on Russ from a minute ago. You got that ready, Jay? Can we play that now?
There are a few teams that have interest in Russell Westbrook. The Sacramento Kings, the New York Knicks, and I was told the Sacramento Kings, they will have a meeting. I believe it will be a phone conversation with Russell Westbrook to try to lure him to Sacramento. Sacramento, we talked about this before. They are in dire need of acquiring a point guard. They need a starting point guard, and they would like a quality backup point guard as well. So they're going to do all that they can to shore up that spot. But yeah, Russ.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great thought, Drapes. And Skip Bishop agrees with you that clearly would be an indication that Scott Perry looks at this roster and says, I don't have any.
Yeah, I don't have any. Yeah.
Yeah. Brendan Nunes weighing in here, the chat. It says Kings have the MLE $14.1 million starting salary and the BAE, the biannual, exception. 4.6. I think he put the decimal in the wrong spot there. 4.6 million starting. So
yeah, so you see, so they got money to do some things. And let's not forget too, they got the trade exception still that they, haven't used, the Kevin Herter one, I think 16 million.
Yeah, they could do some things, but if they do this, what are they accomplishing really?
Right.
Where was this taking us?
Right. And that's the thing. Like, if you're the organization, if you're Scott and Vivek, are you acquiring all this talent, paying all this money, using the exceptions, using the trade exception, you're getting all this money, but you're not moving towards, like Jay was saying earlier, that's not making you a championship team. Right. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Now, and I don't want to call it wasted money, but it's like you're not getting the returns on your investment.
So they're trying to get back into the play-in / playoffs. Obviously, no one tries to get into the play-in,
right?
But I think they are trying to stay competitive. See, Scott Perry did say that, right? Sustained competitiveness. So they're trying to stay competitive while they're trying to build for the future.
Right.
And it's really not easy to do. It can be done, but it's really tricky to serve both masters at once. But that's the alternative.
To toe that line there.
Yeah, if you don't want to tear it down, and clearly they don't, that's about the only way you can do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. We talked earlier, last week, 2 weeks, Indiana. They never really bottomed out.
Correct.
Miami didn't bottom out. They just made some shrewd moves, and that's what I wonder if Scott Perry is going to do. No intention of bottoming out, but when it comes time to make a move, whether it's to acquire a young guy or a star or whatever, then you could do it that way. There's other ways. Indiana did not tank. It is what it is. Got this Chris Haynes
breaking news?
No, calm down.
A little jumpy.
Chris Haynes said, quote, a high-ranking person in the NBA to him, "Free agency is dead. It's bad for the league because it's usually one of the league's biggest attractions. We have to remember that this is entertainment and we can't take that away." This used to be like you set your calendars, your clocks, your alarm clocks to this. Dude, it's 19 minutes and we ain't got no free agent deal.
I was literally, when you were talking about breaking news or that no news about the Zoom calls, that's what I was listening to on NBA TV and them talk about wrestling and all that type of stuff. And it's Greg Anthony, Chris, and I've already forgot the other two as I look up here, but Chris Miles and somebody else on the right. But literally they're laughing and joking. And Chris was talking about, he's looking at his phone. He's like, "Hey, this is the best news that I have to report. Russell Westbrook will be on a Zoom call." That's saying a lot.
But if the Kings do sign even one of those guys, it looks like they may sign both. And if they come to terms with LaRavia, I don't know if they will or not, but I think for Kings fans, it would be more firecracker than fizzle this 4th of July free agency period. Don't you agree? If they're able to do that. That's a lot if they can do any of that. It doesn't transform you, but it's something to talk about, and it kind of changes your roster.
I think it's a lot, but I wonder if there's that segment of the Kings fan base that's like, what are we doing here? The Jake LaRavia, I think everybody's in agreement. We'd love to have Jake back. But the two older point guards, they'd rather get Trey Mann in here, somebody like that.
But a lot of people love Russ.
Yeah, that's interesting. Jay's a Russ guy, right?
Yeah, I like Russ.
Even at this stage, right?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know if he fits here in Sacramento. I think it's just what you said. You're bringing him to be a star, sell tickets. Like, from the box office part of Russ signing here, yeah, I think as a veteran, understandable, but he doesn't change the narrative of what's happening with this team. Like, he doesn't press them into, moving up to a 5th spot or any of that nature. I just like the way that he plays. But I understand why people dislike him, because he is in your face type person.
It's just such a weird, if it's Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and Russell Westbrook, nothing against any of those guys. Isn't that just kind of a weird roster?
Selling tickets, White.
Yeah, it is a weird roster. And then somebody said, my guy Marcus, what you get from Dennis and Russ is what you already get from Monk. I don't get it. I think it's a little bit different, but I could see the comparisons with Monk and Westbrook, just the energy guys off the bench. To Whitey's point, I don't think that roster is, meshing,
right,
where the minute's going to go. Westbrook played 27.9 minutes for the Denver Nuggets this past season. He started 36 out of 75 games. So most of his games came off the bench. So he was the de facto sixth man. If he comes here, what is he? If we still have Malik, Keon.
It has to be a precursor for other moves.
Other moves, right? Yeah. I would think so.
It's just like
Devin Carter, where's he fit in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It might be some other things up Scott Perry's sleeve.
Mm-hmm. We got a long ways to go. Free agency's just started, and Drapes has had it. He
I need
wants
something.
the fur to start to fly.
Well, Santi Aldama,
first one off the board,
3-year, $52.5 million to return to the Grizzlies. So he's just staying put.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money for him. Good for him.
Yep,
He's carved out a real career.
Yeah.
There's also been reports, nothing official yet as far as a signing, but that's where Ty Jerome may end up.
Your boy.
He may end up there. He may end up in Utah.
Oh, Utah is also being mentioned.
Yeah, but Memphis has been the more recent reportage on Ty Jerome.
Fellas, let me ask you something about Russ, Schroder. If you sign both of them,
mm-hmm.
What are we talking about as far as advancement for Devin Carter? Are we done with that then?
I think it just means they don't see him as a point
guard.
Right? Drapes?
Yeah, I'm with you. But let's take a look at the roster, fellas. Let's say you do sign Schroder and Westbrook. Let's look at your guard position. Schroder and Levine, Westbrook, Monk, Keon Ellis. That's 5. So Devin Carter's what? The 6th guard? And does Neat Clifford play any 2 at all?
2 or 3. Yeah.
Neat Clifford is Scott Perry's Devin Carter. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, if it's like, yeah, Devin Carter's nice, but he's not my guy. This is my guy.
That length too.
Yeah. And it sounds like he may have some value on the market. Devin Carter. I don't want him to trade Devin Carter, but just looking at it, looks like that might be
the writings on the wall.
Maybe.
If they lock in 2 veterans,
mm-hmm.
Maybe even 1. That's interesting.
Now, I know they did say that he's going to be at Summer League, presumably to play a little point guard, but obviously, that doesn't mean they can't trade him. They said he's going to Summer League. They can't trade him. That's not the case.
Yeah.
Curious here. Sacramento Kings. Why didn't Scott Perry tell us all this when we talked to him Friday?
I know. He could have just, broke some news with us on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Dynamic Butterfly. Please no Westbrook. No more old dudes.
Damn. How old is Westbrook anyway?
36. I just looked it up. Yeah.
36, huh? Be 37 in November.
Yeah. He didn't get hurt much, though, does he?
No, 75 games last year, 68 year before that, 73 before that. Yeah, he's pretty durable.
The thing that maybe you guys can help me, the thing that makes me scratch my head, I could see how Westbrook would look at this situation and go, yeah, I like that team. They need a point guard close to home. But what are the Kings seeing, especially if Schroeder's a possibility? Why do the Kings look at Westbrook and go, oh, yeah, that's a guy for us? I'm not seeing that. We'll see if we can answer that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and a pleasant evening expected with a bit of a delta breeze in the valley, helping to cool temperatures off into the upper 50s to lower 60s by Tuesday morning. Then more sun and daytime highs warming into the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Find spectacular deals during our big 4th of July sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Discover the 4th of July sale at Target. Save 20% on clothing and swimwear for women, select cookies with Target Circle, and up to 50% off Sun Squad sporting goods. Get ready for a fireworks-worthy celebration with patriotic cookies, fun sports gear, and of course, spectacular fits. The deals end July 5th, so hurry and get 20% off apparel, select cookies with Target Circle, and 50% off Sun Squad sports gear, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Bring the whole family to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. It's more than a game. It's an experience your kids will never forget. Enjoy exciting action on the field, delicious ballpark food, and fun activities for all ages. From meeting Dinger the mascot to running the bases every Sunday, there is something for everyone. Create lasting memories with your family this season. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblet Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Visit BigOTires.com for this week's specials. We have sets of 4 tires starting at just $400, plus service specials that include oil change, tire rotation, and more. With our low price guarantee, drive away knowing you got the best deal on the road. Get details at BigOTires.com.
Xfinity TV is the best way to stream your favorite live sports, giving you an incredible viewing experience. From pregame to postgame, Xfinity gives you the best seat in the house with traditional TV, streaming stats and odds right from your TV.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Here's everything that's happened so far in free agency with the Kings. Nothing yet. But we have a report that they're expected to have Zoom meetings with Dennis Schroder and with Russell Westbrook. And we also have a report from Matt George. And Matt's my friend. We kid about Matt. Matt does a really good job. But he says that the Kings don't intend to let Jake LaRavia go.
Right.
Other than that, with the Kings, we don't have much other than, what did Jay just share with us here? It looks like, according to these reports, that they still may be in on Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon.
What is going on?
Jake Fisher.
Yeah, thank you. Jake Fisher. Kings are also planning to meet with Malcolm Brogdon, per sources. Among their other point guard options, doesn't have to be, but the Wizards are willing to help facilitate a sign and trade with Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay.
So I'd have to trade something for him. For Malcolm Brogdon? What's going on?
That, right? You giving up no assets for Malcolm Brogdon?
I don't understand.
Hey, we do have our first free agent signing of a player to change teams.
Ooh.
Is that worthy of a stinger?
Nah, not him, because he was a Laker, so we're just going to keep it pushing.
According to Shams, free agent forward Dorian Finney-Smith has agreed to a 4-year, $53 million deal with the Houston Rockets.
Back to Texas.
Dorian Finney-Smith going to Houston.
A good defensive team gets even better.
Yeah. He's the first one, though. The first domino to change teams.
I just feel badly for you because I know you're very disappointed. I talked to Jay, when the show started, and Jay was like, not that excited about it. So I know Jay's handling this fine. But I can tell you're taking this personally.
Nah, I mean, I got another one here. How about this? Nah, not worth the stinger, so don't even reach for it, Jay.
I'm not.
B-Ball Paul Reed, agreed to a 2-year, $11 million deal to return to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Flying off the shelves now, man. This is woohoo, exciting stuff.
Speaking of the Detroit Pistons, we know that Trajan Langdon said last week, we would like to keep all of our free agents. And that's what he's got to say. That would be Hardaway Jr. and Dennis Schroder and Malik Beasley, who found himself in the news.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Is there any way that Malik Beasley, and I think they were very close to a deal, maybe they revisit that because hasn't he been cleared now? Was that the word today?
No, Beasley? No,
he has not been cleared.
No, not him.
Yeah.
Rozier has been cleared.
Thank you.
My boy T. Rose.
Yeah, but what do you think of that? Malik Beasley investigated for ties to gambling.
That's bad. I don't understand. Like, he's made some money in his career. It's not like he was Jonte Porter up there, making league minimum and rookie deal. Malik Beasley in his career, Whitey and Jay, he's made, according to Basketball Reference, $53 million in his career. What you gambling $200 on a over/under or something like that? Come on,
it's I have no idea if this is the case with him. I know for some people it's more than it just becomes like an obsession, a disease. You've seen the video of him going coast to coast with 2 seconds left to make sure he beats the spread. You've seen the video of Giannis blocking one of his shots with 2 seconds left.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, which some say, that kept him from hitting a prop.
Was he upset? Was he
very upset,
pissed off about
it? Giannis was dancing in his face, and he wasn't having it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have to find that for you.
Oh,
he was
you got
very upset.
Yeah, you got to show me that one. I'm just looking at some of the breaking news. Nothing new. Our boy Tony Ray Harvey just tweeted out a picture of Woj with the caption, "Make NBA insiders great again." We miss Woj during it. Woj would have had like 10 deals done by now. No offense, Shams, but Woj would have had 10 deals tweeted out by now.
It's just the nature of the beast. We just have now with the CBA, teams keep their free agents. So this time we have to be better. We have to be smarter. We're interested to see what the Kings do, of course. But, look at the list of guys that you read from Keith Smith, the top free agents available. Again, nothing against them. I would love to have any one of their careers, a fraction of their pro careers, but it's just not that exciting.
It really isn't. And people are pissed. They're upset. This dude tweeted out, just a random guy, "Bring back tampering. This sucks."
What did they expect was going to happen?
I know, right? Like the big move is Dorian Finney-Smith to the Rockets. That's the big move so far. Come on, we need something more.
Amadrox says, I guess I was wrong at 2:58. Starting my phone gonna blow up. Nothing, just nothing. Yeah, it's just the way it is now. Vathanak Duong, and I apologize if I said that wrong, says as far as the Kings bringing in Schroder and Westbrook, says they want to fill the seats. Good marketing move. I asked the question, why would you bring in Schroder and Russell Westbrook? Is Westbrook a draw still? It seems like he is based on the level of excitement that fans are expressing when they hear this news. Westbrook could be coming here. Fans are pumped. Not everyone, but a lot of them are.
When was Russell Westbrook's last really good, impactful, like Russ year?
When was the year when he had all the triple doubles? When was he the MVP?
All right. Well, I mean, he's had some solid years. With the Lakers in 21-22, 18.5 points, 7.4 rebounds, 7.1 assists. That's pretty damn good in 78 games. Then the following year, Lakers and Clippers, 15.9 points, 7.5 assists. That's pretty damn good.
He was instrumental in helping the Kings beat the Clippers in that 176-175. Remember? He threw a terrible
Did he
pass.
really?
Yeah.
Right.
You remember that, Ramsey?
He was rolling with us, huh?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
He played really badly down the stretch of that game.
And then his last year in LA, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. So in 68 games, 22 minutes. So last couple of years, he's been relegated to a reserve player.
He's already had an interesting history with the Kings. You have that game, and then you have the fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have the fact that Buddy Hield was going to go to the Lakers for Kyle Kuzma, And LeBron said, no, we don't want Buddy Hield. We want Russ.
We want
And
Russ.
that scuttled the deal.
And then apparently they had some sort of falling out, not like personal, but it just didn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
That did ruin the deal, huh?
Yeah.
And we would have got who? Kuzma?
Yeah.
Damn. LeBron was like, nah, we're not doing
we don't
that.
want Buddy. And I think it was all but done. No, we want Russ.
Yeah.
And who could have foreseen that it wouldn't work between Russ and LeBron? Dynamic Butterfly says, I would rather watch guys develop than watch a purgatory team. That is one of the central questions here if this continues on this track. People say that, and I take you at your word, Dynamic Butterfly. A lot of fans have been saying, just tank, just bring in young players. But it's easy to say that now, Drapes, and we've talked about this and talked about it. You get into, mid-February, and you got a team that might win 20-something games, and it's tough sledding. And it's tough to get people to go out to the arena when they know that maybe in 2 years we'll be halfway decent again.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about it, Whitey. If we up, let's say it's late January, we're at 20 wins or something like that. I wonder, let's say we do sign Russ. Let's say we do sign Schroder. Can we flip those guys if things are going sideways? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't work out, it's not like somebody said, purgatory. We're not married to this roster forever.
Yeah, I thought of that today. Maybe you do that and, you start the season and you have maybe in the first half of the season, things come together for you and you got a really good team. Maybe not a great team, but a good team you're feeling good about. Yeah, we're going to run out the year with these guys. If not, if things start to derail and fall apart, yes, and come trade deadline, you have an opportunity perhaps to get some assets, which will help.
Right. And
I understand that.
And that's something Jay's been talking about too.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't all have to be done now. And I would imagine if you do sign Westbrook, if you do sign Schroder, those aren't contracts that'll scare people off. Oh, I don't want to pay Russell Westbrook $4 million. And Dennis Schroder at the mid-level, I think that's pretty solid for him. $14 million. Maybe you could get him a little cheaper. That would be nice. But I don't think if you make these moves, like for instance, he made $12 million last season. Dennis Schroder did this past season. Oh, excuse me, $13 million this past season. So these deals aren't absorbent. Big contracts.
One of the things I wonder about is if Detroit was going to give Beasley a ton of money, and if they really do like Schroeder, if they might, all right, we're not giving any money to Beasley, if they might revisit and reopen discussions with Schroeder, be willing to give him more money. I don't know.
Maybe.
Something I wonder about. From Vincent Ramirez in the YouTube chat, talking about, if the Kings, they want to stay competitive, he says, youth over just good enough for play-in. At least we would have a direction. And I know a lot of people feel that way about things. And Dynamic Butterfly, please no, I can't watch Russ on the Kings. The brick threes, the late game turnovers. Please, God, no. I agree with that 100%. Russ is a Hall of Famer. Nobody I've ever seen plays harder than him. But shot selection and in-game decisions have always been an issue for him. And now that he doesn't have the ability that he had, sometimes it's a tough watch.
Yeah, and a Hall of Famer, obviously.
Yes.
You know what Russ is, man? As good as he is and can be, there was that one game against for Denver where he pretty much lost that game with those late game turns. Missed the layup. Remember that one?
Right.
And so you got to take the good with the bad. I do want to throw another name into the point guard mix, and let's tease that. I got that for you coming up, Whitey. Another name
for you
that could be available.
Fascinated to find that out. We will find out next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and a pleasant evening expected with a bit of a delta breeze in the valley, helping to cool temperatures off into the upper 50s to lower 60s by Tuesday morning. Then more sun and daytime highs warming into the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Find spectacular deals during our big 4th of July sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but has been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento, and I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 77 years. Look for made-in-America brands like Stickley, Bassett, Stanton, Trailway, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sales event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Celebrate the 4th with freedom from high prices. The 4th of July savings sale is happening now at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Fire up your summer with 4th of July savings on a new Civic or Accord. Own or lease today at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We're seeing something similar to what we saw last week in the early moments of the draft. We got a breaking news.
I need the stinger.
When it breaks,
Here we go.
We have it first.
It's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
40 seconds ago, according to Shams, free agent forward Jake LaRavia has agreed to a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, no.
I was riding on the wall.
He was riding in the car with Austin Reeves. They're tight.
Well.
Damn. Wow.
Disappointed, but not surprised.
But it's only $6 million. But I guess $6 million in LA versus 5.1 here in sack. That's a big loss, right?
That is a very bitter and unfortunate start to free agency for the Sacramento Kings and their fans.
Wow. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. How are you feeling, Kings fans, about free agency? Jake LaRavia going to the Lakers. This hurts. This one hurts. This hurts.
I don't know why we were all so quick to believe that, he'll stay here for less money, you know? We just wanted it to be so, I guess. And he said all the right things, but, players do that. They say the right things.
Right.
So the King, just to set it, clarify it, Drapes, the Kings could have offered him, what, 5.1? And he signed for how much?
$6 million for 2 years. $12 million total. So $6 million a year. But I mean, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. First of all, Jake was only here 2 months? So it's hard to build roots and really feel comfortable. He's staying in a furnished apartment, if you will, at the Sawyer. If the money's equal or slightly better, and I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, you might have brought this up. Or High Flyer actually brought it up. You were gone. High Flyer brought it up. Remember, Jay? If the money's equal or a little bit better, guys are going to go to L.A. Guys are going to go to Miami, New York, wherever. And let's call it what it is. A chance to play with LeBron and Luka on the brightest of stage every night. I get it. I'm not hating on Jake for this move.
It's like Skip says, you got to keep it real. What do the Kings have to offer other than money that was better than what he could get in L.A. when they couldn't even match the money? They didn't have the money.
Couldn't match the money.
Yeah.
Bigger star power. And they're a better team right now. Let's call it what it is.
Does he replace Dorian Finney-Smith?
Yeah.
It's like swap, boom, boom.
Man.
Right?
Yep.
That might have been why they didn't have for Dorian Finney-Smith. They knew they had LaRavia on the hook. For a whole lot of less money.
How's Austin Reeves being a recruiter out there, right? Who's our recruiter, man? If Austin Reeves is attractive free agents, what the hell?
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Tyler weighing in on Sacktown Sports. Hello, Tyler. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you guys?
Good. Now, there's some pressure here. You are the first caller ever to the station in the post-Jake LaRavia Kings era. So what are you going to do about that?
Oh, well, I'm real sad to hear that. Diehard Kings fan. I don't care much for the Lakers, but I absolutely love Jake LaRavia, and I think we're going to miss him badly. And I think he's going to ball out with the Lakers. I hate to see it, but I mean, I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he's underrated, and I think he's going to do really good things for the Lakers. And that's basically all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate that. Mr. Asparagus says, a couple of weeks ago, I saw LaRavia at Disneyland. I said, come back to Sacramento. And he laughed at me. Nice guy, but he knew. I will say this to our friends, our broadcast friends in Los Angeles. We're very upset about this, but if anybody wants to use my nickname, Saudi LaRavia, go ahead.
I think
if
you're
they want
good
to,
with that one.
If they want to, that's fine.
I think you're good on that. Wow.
Yeah, so here we are complaining about, there's nothing much happening. And then something happens, all right. A humiliating kick in the crotch is what happens.
Yeah, and Dan Wokey out there in L.A., he just tweeted out, he covers the Lakers for The Athletic. He says the Lakers get their top wing target with Dorian Finney-Smith off the board. Jake LaRavia, their top wing target. So they clearly made him a priority.
Yeah, and then if they go out and they add a center, I mean, they're reloading, gearing up, making a run while the Kings I don't know what they're doing. Oh, they might get Westbrook or Brogdon. Might get Malcolm Brogdon.
Come on, man. Don't be like that. Don't be like that now.
How do you think we're going to feel it? I know you feel it too, and you're not saying it, but my goodness.
Because we were just talking, all right, you get Westbrook, you get Schroder, bring back Jake, you're doing a little something. Now Jake is gone. Yeah, that's a gut punch. And he goes to your rival, the team you hate. It's just...
And he really, one of the reasons why we felt like we needed him so badly is because, first of all, he said so many nice things about Sacramento, but also what he gave you is just, there's such a dearth of it on the roster.
Okay.
Yeah, just not much where, we had Scott Perry talking at his first press conference about we need length, and the Kings don't have a lot of that. He was like one of the 2 legitimate forwards, right? I mean, a guy who's a 3-4. I know that you had Trey Lyles, who's more of a big,
right.
But you didn't have a lot of wings, 3-and-D wings or anything like them. That's such a hot commodity in the NBA right now. The Kings had basically 2, Keegan and Jake LaRavia. So it seemed like, wow, they really need him.
Yeah.
But, and again, no one did anything wrong when they acquired him because Memphis had not extended him. There was no way the Kings could do anything other than, look, we want to keep you, but this is the most we can offer you. Nobody botched it.
Yeah. And nobody botched it. And, this was something we knew could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew could happen. And people are taking shots at our guy, Chris Haynes.
They blasting him up.
They killing Chris Haynes right now.
Yeah.
I guess he tweeted out the wrong information first.
Yeah, he put Kings instead of Lakers. Then he recorrected it. He mistweeted.
That's like Arson Judge almost. You ever hear the Arson Judge story?
No.
John Heyman tweeted that the Giants are signing Arson Judge. And yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh man, that's a gut punch, man. This is Jake LaRavia. Like what how will his tenure be remembered? Like the way he came onto the scene, you can't beat that. Those 7 points that he had off the jump.
Right. Yeah. You had that game, I remember. You had his first game.
I did. The legend Jake LaRavia.
Yeah.
He changed the game.
It's just going to be another subplot to one of the strangest periods in Kings history.
Yeah.
And strangest periods in Kings history, that's saying a lot because they've had some weird things happen.
Right. It's upsetting that, a guy who fans loved, fans grew to love Jake. I know it was a short time, but how many games did he play and said, like, it was a blip on the radar? Like, it was 19 games.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
If he hadn't gotten hurt, woo.
Right. So
they'd have been in the playoffs.
So in about 9 years, when we do our top 50 Kings of all, we can't include Jake LaRavia. I'm sorry, it's only 19 games.
Hey, along those lines, and we'll obviously get back to everything going on in free agency. A year ago, we did the 40 top Kings, right? Now they've been here 40 years. What do you think of at some point this summer? Today's not the day, obviously. There's a lot going on. But maybe we do the 40 greatest moments in Sacramento Kings history. What do you think of that?
That's a lot, though. That's some research.
Yeah. We'd have a similar panel and maybe get listeners involved.
Have people submit.
It could be, a moment in a game or just an announcement.
Okay. That's a lot of work there,
That's
brother.
a lot.
40 moments.
The top 40 moments.
Did we do top 20 moments 20 years ago? Do you know?
Sure.
Right?
It was great.
Just get those calls and then add 20 more, right?
I'll do the legwork. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just something going forward here when things start to slow down, but they're not slow today. This is tough for Kings fans, but we had to see it coming. More importantly, Scott Perry had to have an idea what was going to happen. So he must have some plan B, right? He must have some plan to address this.
Is it worse that he left or is it worse that he went to the Lakers? Because I'd argue he went to the Lakers more than he left.
Yes, me too.
Because he was only here for a handful of games.
Yeah,
he was hurt for a lot. Right. And as much as I think we wanted him back because he fills the position as you were talking about, Whitey. But I mean,
if
go
he went
to the Lakers,
I don't know, Charlotte or something. But going to the Lakers, it's almost like you never understood us at all. You said all these nice things.
Right.
You didn't care about us at all.
Yes. And then you go to the Lakers.
What T.I. say, man, give me my chain back.
Right. Just snatch that chain back off it.
We're back with more on free agency. We'll look at what has happened so far, what is yet to happen, what the Kings need to make happen next on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome.
You spit in today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Summer's here and the kids are out of school. That means it's time to hit the road. And there's no better time to buy a new car than right now. Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And let me tell you, the push is on to get you into the car of your dreams. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is running their huge June sale with low rates on new and pre-owned vehicles. I've taken advantage of their offers, and I'm proud to say I'm a Mercedes-Benz of Stockton customer. I opted for the all-electric SUV. Its range is longer than other electric cars I've owned, and me and the kids are already planning our summer road trips. Whether it's a short drive to the Bay or down the coast to SoCal, you'll love the quality and comfort of Mercedes-Benz provides. Take it from me. Once you go Mercedes-Benz, you won't go back. So don't wait, because these low rates won't last long. Head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just a short drive right off I-5, or anytime at mbfstockton.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Well, unfortunately for Kings fans, free agency went from, not much going on to, wow, something's going on, and it's no fun. Jake LaRavia not re-signing with the Kings. He's going to the Lakers of all teams. Making it worse, a very notable NBA reporter accidentally tweeted that Jake LaRavia was staying with the Kings. I don't know. We don't deserve this at all, Jay. That's just the way things happen around here, right? We don't deserve it.
It's a cold game.
Yeah. One thing I think we need to clarify, and I know most people know this, but I see some of the comments here. People are obviously frustrated, upset, and there's some suggestions that, the Kings should have done this or that with LaRavia. And again, because Memphis did not extend him, there was no way the Kings could have offered him more money. People saying, they should have done this, should have done that. There was nothing. Once the Kings got him, there was nothing they could have done other than offer him the $5.1 million. It was not an option to them no matter what they did. Doesn't make it any easier, but I do think it's it's important just to be fair to Monty. There was nothing. Monty brought him in, but there was nothing they could do to offer him more money. Was it the money? Was it LA? Did he just look at things going on here and say, I'm not sure about that? I don't think we can discount that, Jay, because one thing Jake LaRavia said, he talked about, I like it here, love Doug Christie, but I want to be on a young team that's got a chance to win. And I don't, he might have looked at this team and what's going on right now and said, no, I don't really see it with this team, at least not right now. Whereas in LA, I know they're trying to win. Maybe it came down to that. We'll never know.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I think if anything, it's because the money is super close, and the fact of 6 million, 5.2, whatever the case may be, that kind of is like a dig in the, just a little bit dig at the King's Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And you can at least give him 8 million, you give him 9, 7.5.
Yeah.
You gave him literally the same amount of chips that he was going to get for the most part, minus a few $100K. For the Kings. And you know what, Whitey? I think you hit the nail on the head, which is it's a little more difficult to see LaRavia walk in the form of he's probably one of the only two wings you can really point at this team and say, he is a bona fide wing. He is a bona fide 3/4, whatever you want to call him, beside Keegan Murray. The insult to injury is you just gave him $800K more, $6 million versus the 5.2. And then on top of that, it's, you went down to LA. You went to La La Land.
The only thing that would have been worse is if he'd taken less money than the Kings were offering.
Right. Now that's insult. La La Land. Yeah, that's insult right there.
Yeah. But it's pretty bad, Drapes. Pretty rough for Kings fans.
Well, not all Kings fans are upset. Somebody from the 209. Why are you guys dwelling on this? If Perry wanted to keep him, he would have put down the extra $900K.
He couldn't.
Exactly. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's what
you
we
just
were
said
saying.
that up 2 minutes ago.
He played 19 games and wasn't impressive, according to the 209. Damn. Yes. Somebody don't
209, where are you coming from, brother? Where's that, Manteca? Where we at there? What 209 specify that?
But they had to have an idea what it might happen, or I would think they had to have an idea that it was probably going to happen, right?
Right. Exactly.
It was over when they were in the Porsche.
Right.
It was over a couple weeks ago. You're not kicking it with Austin Reeves.
Got a couple of point guard updates. Can I give them to you?
Please. Do you need the stinger? Yes, stinger. Just in keeping with the day.
According to Shams.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Shams, free agent guard Trey Jones.
Not Tyus Jones. Has agreed to a 3-year, $25 million deal, $24 million deal to return to Chicago. So Trey Jones. Also, D'Angelo Russell, 2-year, $13 million deal with the Dallas Mavericks.
That's chump change. I saw that.
Yeah, you saw that, Jay? So a couple of point guards off the market.
Would you have been interested in for 2 for 13 for D'Angelo?
Nah.
Knowing what you're going to get with Schroder and/or? Okay, just ask.
Nah.
I like D'Angelo Russell. He doesn't have much interest in defending. And it sounds like that's something that's really important to him. This year when they're putting this team together.
Oh, defense. Yeah.
But that's been reported with about the same frequency as the Schroder to the Kings report. So maybe I shouldn't equate those, but we've been hearing, D'Angelo Russell to the Mavericks about as much as we've been hearing Schroder to the Kings. So at this point, and I'm not even saying I'm a huge fan of it, but I'll be stunned if that doesn't happen, Drapes. Schroder to the Kings. I think it's all been a good deal.
I think so. And not only, it's been a couple of weeks now, it seems like we've been hearing that. And so, according to Chris Haynes, the Kings are going to be on a Zoom call.
According to who?
Chris Haynes.
Well, has that been verified and double-checked?
No, why you don't do it? Don't do my man like that.
Well, I didn't. He did.
He has not pulled back that tweet. That tweet is still out there. But Russell Westbrook and Dennis Schroder, apparently, according to Chris Haynes, are going to have Zoom calls individually with the Sacramento Kings.
I understand the Kings' need at the point guard position. But in the NBA today, the wings is the things. We know that. You look at the teams that were just playing for the championship, especially Indiana and all the wings they have. And I know the Kings have, they have a guy like Nick Clifford. You could say, well, he's kind of a wing, but you need some size at the forward position. That's really a more important need. If you're going to go out and get Schroder and Westbrook, all right, it fills a need, but clearly those are, as you've said, stopgaps. What about building a team? You're going to have to bring in some wings, and you just lost one of your best ones. So I don't know. At this point, let's get Kuminga. Something they need depth, talent, and quality at the wing position if you're going to be competitive in today's NBA.
So hold up, because I'm a parse your words right there. Competitive. What's competitive, White?
Well, to me, competitive is you are able to compete with some of the best teams while, and I didn't say this, but while with this whole thing, building something.
Stinger, please. Breaking news. Stinger, Jay.
When it breaks,
this
we
is
have it
massive.
It's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
This is massive. The Denver Nuggets are trading Michael Porter Jr. and an unprotected first-round pick in 2032 to the Brooklyn Nets for Cam Johnson.
Whoa.
Whitey's guy.
Yep.
Give it to me one more time, Drake.
Porter Jr. and an unprotected first-rounder in 2032 to Brooklyn for Cam Johnson. That's a nice little haul.
Like that trade for
getting
Denver.
You're getting a first-round pick back.
Unprotected in 2032.
Cam Johnson's that much better than MPJ?
I don't think so.
No way.
You won a championship with MPJ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cam Johnson's rock solid, though, if he plays. When he plays. And we couldn't give up Devin Carter for him. Okay, well, that's interesting.
But 2032, Denver's going to be trash. Jokic is going to be on his way out 7 years from
now.
now.
The Cronkies will have sold the team by then.
Right,
so
right. They don't care. They don't care. Exactly. That's a big time trade. Let me ask you this, because you're a Cam Johnson guy.
Yes.
You wanted the Kings. Do we have a package that could rival that? Porter Jr. and an unprotected first. We got the unprotected first, yes. Do we have any players?
Yes.
Who?
Well, I know that according to reports, they had interest at least last year in Zach LaVine. So that's the only thing that to me comes close to that. They're looking for obviously
Zach in the first for Cam Johnson. I'm not doing that, Jay. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing.
I just answered your question.
I know. I know.
I just answered your
I
question.
wouldn't have gave Michael Porter in the first. Either you want a first or you want Michael Porter.
Damn, that's massive right there.
When did Cam Johnson become so heralded?
He's very efficient. That's the thing. But as you guys have pointed out, I think you led this charge, Jay, if I'm not mistaken, he gets hurt a lot and he doesn't play that much. But he's hyper efficient and he plays both positions. And Kyle Draper,
I need to
the
sting,
stinger
Jay.
call?
When I do that, I need the stinger.
I know. I'm going to let White finish though.
Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Free agent guard Ty Jerome, 3-year, $28 million deal with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis has been busy today.
Whitey, that's not even, $9 million, $10 million a year.
All my favorites are going elsewhere.
Did they get them for the cheap, you think? 3 years, $28 million?
It's a good pickup for him.
Wow.
You're breaking my heart.
3 for 9?
Yeah, 9.3 million per year.
3.20. You're 3 for 28, right? So 9 million.
Because all he has is like most of last year. That's all he's really done. That's his body of work. So he wasn't in position to get more money than that.
Right.
That's a good signing for them. Cam Johnson going somewhere. Ty Jerome, you're killing me.
Yeah.
These are my guys. Well, the
Jake
Kings.
LaRavia.
You
know? Uh-oh, here we go. Give it to me again, Jay.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
1 minute ago, Fred Katz of The Athletic. You know Fred Katz, right,
Of course.
Jay?
Oh, yeah.
Senior NBA writer for The Athletic. Dennis Schroder will agree to sign with the Sacramento Kings, league sources tell The Athletic. There it is. Wow.
It's official. Right? It's official even though we don't have details?
Right, we don't have
We ain't got the
details.
coins on it.
But Fred Katz is a respected
Yes,
NBA
yes.
writer. He's been around for a while. He says Schroeder and the Kings will agree to a deal.
Does that mean the Zoom call's off or?
Right, I know, right? Did they wrap it up and say, all right, you got the job or what? Wow. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Tell us about it, Drapes. You've been all over this for weeks.
I've been on months, big fella. Right after the season, Dennis Schroder was one of the first guys I mentioned. I said, you know what? Looking at the free agent landscape, if we were going to do a stopgap, who would make the most sense? And I thought Dennis Schroder. And here's why. And we'll see, you know, when it becomes official and, you know, other people start and we get some details. But here's the thing about Schroder that I love. He's a gamer, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him at Detroit this past season. 28 games, 10.8 points, 5.3 assists. In 28 games he played, 25 minutes. And I thought whoever we got at that point guard position, and I know a lot of people like Tyus Jones, but we saw what happened to Tyus Jones in Phoenix. Tyus Jones got ran over like a speed bump by Kevin Durant.
He kind of disappeared.
Disappeared. Booker and Durant said, give me the ball and get out the way. You ain't doing that with Dennis Schroder. Schroder is running the show. Schroder will look off DeMar, will look off Zach. And I'm not saying he should be doing that, but there are certain times within the game where as a point guard, you got to realize, no, Keegan's got it going. He has the mismatch, and I feel like Schroder can do that. And he is not afraid of the smoke. He was the leader of Team Germany at the FIBA World Cup a couple of years ago that won the gold medal, the MVP out there at the FIBA World Cup. This guy is built to compete. He's not going to just blend in and be one of the guys, pass the ball and go stand in the corner. You're going to feel the impact of Dennis Schroder. I think this is a massive move for the Kings here in the short term, this year or two.
He was a very good, maybe even an excellent player with the Hawks early in his career.
Yes.
And the Hawks were not a big-name team. They were a really good team. Remember, they had the 5 guys that were named co-players of the week with Mike Budenholzer. And then he kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. He had an opportunity to sign a big deal, turned it down right, bet on himself, and lost a lot of money.
Yeah, he fumbled the bag on that one. And
he's been going from team to team for many years now, playing reasonably well. But I'm hoping that, I was going to say I hope he's found a home, but this probably is not a very long-term deal either.
No, probably not. I would say 2 years, with a team option for the second, quite possibly.
Yeah, and people are asking about the years. Of course, we don't know for sure.
We don't know yet. So a source last week I texted with about Dennis Schroder. He said, I'm a huge fan of this person, very good player. He did say fit is the question,
Right.
I disagree. I think it'll be fine, but this person said fit is the question. Called him super competitive, physical, smart, more scorer than traditional point guard, durable and tough. That's what we need at the point guard spot. The fact that he said super competitive and physical, that's Doug Christie and Scott Perry's MO right there, I think, right?
Yes.
And so if this comes to fruition, I love this move. I think this is a good move for Sacramento.
Reaching out to Fred to see if he can give me some particulars.
Okay.
Just a quick heads up. But it is interesting. I haven't really seen anybody double down on it just yet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, nobody else put that out there yet?
No. But Fred's been around.
He's solid.
He's locked in.
Yeah. He had a pretty good series against the Knicks, did Dennis Schroder. He had 2018, 6, 14, and 9 in their series against the Knicks. So yeah, he's a good player, not a great shooter. 34% for his career, but obviously those are just numbers. I'm glad whoever you talked to mentioned the fit, because I know I had brought that up and you kind of
no,
you don't know what you're talking about.
That's one person's opinion.
Yeah,
and like I got my opinion, this person has his opinion. And if this is true, apparently fit was not a concern for Scott Perry and Doug Christie if they did in fact sign him.
Yeah, he was having a really nice year with Brooklyn. 23 games there. Really, you look at the numbers, really solid year. Then he went to the Warriors, and that just did not quite work. He did not fit into what they were doing there. And then with Detroit, ended the year with Detroit and really helped that team. And that was
I thought he was really good off the bench for them. Provided that toughness, provided leadership at that position. And, he's not the guy for the next 5 to 7 years. We all know that. We understand that. But if the Kings do make this official and sign Dennis Schroder, to me, he's the perfect stopgap because we know he's a bona fide NBA player. This guy is going to compete night in and night out. We don't have to question how good is Dennis Schroder or can he fit with the, I don't think we have to question who Dennis Schroder is. We know who he is. And it's not the answer forever, Kings fans. It's not the answer forever. But I guarantee you, mark my words, Whitey and Jay, Dennis Schroder on this team is worth, in my opinion, at minimum 3 to 5 extra wins. At minimum.
Find out.
Yep.
They have a way of measuring that. May not be right win shares, and last year they have them were 3.2 wins. So I mean, that's right
into my 3 to 5. Yep.
I just don't see here if you bring in Schroder again. I'm just still confused by the whole Westbrook thing. I feel like I don't want Westbrook if I have Schroder.
Right.
Maybe that is there's a marketing angle to that. I don't know. And again, this is important to clarify. This is Fred Katz from The Athletic reporting this. It has not been confirmed by anyone.
Not been in our boy Alan Stiles 5 minutes ago. I'm hearing Schroder and the Kings is extremely close to the finish line. Come on, man. It's after Fred Katz. All right. No comment. I'm going to keep it moving.
Alan has his sources. I don't know who they are. But
No
he has his sources.
Fred Katz tweeted 8 minutes ago. Anything after that, unless you say your sources, never mind. I'm not going there, Jay. Whitey always trying to get me pitted against Allen for some reason.
You just went after Allen. I had nothing to do with it.
I didn't go after him. I'm just pointing out what he tweeted. Shout out to my guy Justin on social media. Shout out Kyle Draper, he says. He's been saying for months the Kings should get Dennis Schroder. And you know what that leads me to believe, Whitey?
What's that?
If I thought it and Scott Perry thought it, maybe I'm in the wrong profession.
Maybe.
You know what I mean, Jay? Maybe
it's also
get a front
possible.
office spot.
It's also possible that you're not right. We'll see. If it doesn't work out, then,
you try. Oh, yeah. Right,
yeah, I'm
right.
not saying that. Oh, he's not coming.
Oh,
here.
all right. Are you
Sure
saying
like
we got to
it.
see it actually?
Yeah, we'll
manifest
see
on the court.
How it works out. What an odd roster, though. And I get it. Short term, gap year, bridge, point guard. But this has been an emotional day already.
Oh, shoot. Give me what?
What are we doing here?
Nah, we're on the radio.
Right.
All right. It's a fake account.
Okay.
I almost got got.
Wow.
What's awesome about this?
Be right, don't be first.
There was a tweet from a fake Ian Begley. And then right underneath, a tweet from the real Ian Begley. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, baby.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Fakes. I saw a couple of them today, a handful of them, and then you got to be more careful than ever.
Yeah. Ooh, how about this move right here?
All right, here's more.
We got a couple more, Jay.
Okay. I'm waiting on that hand to go.
We have it first. It's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Free agent Bruce Brown has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Denver Nuggets.
Back home, Denver getting some things done.
Where he won the championship. Back to Denver. That makes sense.
Brown.
I got another one. This is interesting. Free agent center Kevon Looney. 2 years, $16 million deal with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Wow.
Leaving Golden State.
Wasn't expecting
How
that.
about that? Yes.
Kevon Looney.
Yes.
Wasn't expecting that.
No.
I'll be honest.
Wow. So who they got? Quentin Post, and that's about it on the roster? Oh, no. Trace Jackson also.
They're supposed to get Al Horford, the Warriors.
Yeah.
Which was a great idea 7 years ago. It was.
He just won a title last year. But no, I'm with you. Yeah. All right, let me see what else. I love this, man. Now we're having some fun. Now we're having fun here with free agency.
So free agency 2025 is a hit, right? Not a miss?
Nah, I mean, I guess it's a hit. It ain't no top 10 hit. It's a top 20 Billboard hit. How about
Okay.
that?
All right. From the 916, meh.
Schroeder. Come on.
Meh.
Put your name on it, 916, if you're going to
Schroeder.
diss something like that. Come on now.
Marcus Cummings. All right, Drapes, I'm trusting you on Dennis.
Dude, I told you I'm going to the bank with this one. This guy will help the team out. And not only that, Whitey and Jay, look at the other options. To me, he was the best option. My boy Keith Smith also agreed with me. His top 5 point guard free agents, Josh Giddey, restricted, so we weren't getting him. Number 2, Dennis Schroder.
Here's a backhanded compliment, not for you, but for the move from Beeman. I think people are confusing good moves in general with good moves for the Kings. Dennis is not a good signing in general. Dennis is a good signing for the Kings, though.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Beeman, that's that negativity. Come on, man. Look. I guarantee you, Detroit liked acquiring Dennis Schroder last year. It helped them out. Because of the financials, they wanted to commit to other people. Let Dennis Schroder perhaps come here to Sacramento. Solid player.
Amadrock points out Looney and Poole back together again. Look out.
Oh, yeah. How about reunited?
22 Warriors there in New Orleans.
Nice. Yeah. Bring that championship vibe to New Orleans.
So it's not official yet, but it's been reported that, yes, Schroder is coming to the Kings. We don't have details. What was reported? That was probably a 2-year deal. We'll see. We don't have details, but probably a 2-year deal for
nothing like that has even been reported, like the years or anything.
But before it even happened, talk that they were
Someone
working
saying
on
2-year, $30 million or so, close to that.
Yeah. And then Jake LaRavia leaving the Kings, and he's going to be a Los Angeles Laker. Yeah,
that hurts.
Yeah, it hurt. But then Dennis Schroder signing has got everybody around here feeling a lot better about everything.
Yeah. Let me ask you this about
It's got some.
Can we Evan Sidery? Is he a friend of the show? Is he our guy or no?
He's been on the show, and I think Jay's been dealing with him for a long time. Is that right, Jay?
Not for a long time, but he's been on the show. I've known him for 5 years or so.
He's bothering me a little bit with some of his tweets. Let me ask you.
He's
guys.
kind of an aggregator,
right?
By his own admission.
But the problem, he's an act. Dennis Schroder has officially agreed to sign with the Kings per Fred Katz. Sacramento finds their new starting point guard after trading. Why didn't he just retweet Fred Katz or quote tweet it? He takes it and makes it his own tweet.
Yep.
I don't like that. That's weak. And he's giving Fred Katz credit, but it's kind of, dude, just retweet it or something.
That's one thing. The real problem with that is I could cite 2 examples in the last couple of weeks where he's, rather than just retweeted, he adds his own spin on it, and he's gotten it wrong.
Oh, yeah. Jason, was he the one with Jason Anderson?
Yeah, where Jason Anderson had to come back and say, that's not what I said.
That's kind of weak. That's just my take on that as I wait for more free agent signings to come in here on the social network.
The other report today was that the Kings were going to have a Zoom meeting with not only Dennis Schroder, but also Russell Westbrook. So we're waiting we don't know.
Malcolm Brogdon, too, and the call.
That's right.
Oh, yeah,
Fisher
Malcolm
said
Brogdon.
there would be a call with Malcolm Brogdon.
So it's true. Apparently, the reports that the Kings want Dennis Schroder and either Malcolm Brogdon or Russell Westbrook, because I don't know why.
Like all the old point guards we want to be with, right?
Yeah.
So far, what's the one that's caught you off guard? Is it the Porter Jr.? Cam? Is it Finney Smith? What's the one that's like, oh, man.
Today?
Yeah. Is it MPJ?
That Cam trade, I think, is.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Shocker,
LaRavia
right?
is like, I thought he might leave, but I didn't. And then you guys saw it. Lakers, that kind of buckled me a little bit. And I know you saw him riding with.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know if I was on vacation when that happened or what. But
I think you were. I think you were on vacation.
Yeah, you were.
Because we were talking about sleeping with the enemy.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, he was on a podcast while riding in the car with Austin Reeves. So that's when you know you buddy. If you're like, yeah, I'm hanging with my boy, I'll do this podcast with you. Like that's, now that I think about it, yeah.
Now, Drapes, I think you were going to tell us about a point guard, but I don't think you did because things started popping, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So Drapes with another point guard, it could be available, although now we have Schroder.
Right.
So
we might not
what do we need with him? But we'll find out who next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and a pleasant evening expected with a bit of a delta breeze in the valley, helping to cool temperatures off into the upper 50s to lower 60s by Tuesday morning. Then more sun and daytime highs warming into the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Find spectacular deals during our big 4th of July sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Discover the 4th of July sale at Target. Save 20% on clothing and swimwear for women, select cookies with Target Circle, and up to 50% off Sun Squad sporting goods. Get ready for a fireworks-worthy celebration with patriotic cookies, fun sports gear, and of course, spectacular fits. The deal's end July 5th, so hurry and get 20% off apparel, select cookies with Target Circle, and 50% off Sun Squad sports gear, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock.
Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West rating 2011 renewed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Join the Sacramento Rivercats for Star Wars Night on Saturday, July 19th. Come dressed as your favorite character and be part of a galactic celebration filled with themed activities, giveaways, and Rivercats baseball. Whether you're Jedi or Sith, this night is one for the whole family. It's the perfect way to combine your love of summertime baseball and Star Wars action. Sacramento Rivercats Star Wars Night tickets on July 19th are now available at rivercats.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
There's another free agent guard who may be available here. Drapes will share that with us in just a moment, but might not matter because according to Fred Katz, the Kings are going to sign Dennis Schroder. Where does that leave us? Some interesting comments here in the chat, the chateau on this NBA free agency day one. Bruce Avila asks, do these Denver deals make them a threat in the West? I like Cam Johnson, Bruce Brown. I think those are good moves for them. Both those guys are smart players and they defend.
Yeah, and they needed some depth, with the Bruce Brown signing. I think that helps them out. And, Michael Porter Jr., was injured in the playoffs, didn't show up, shooting-wise. And
had a bad shoulder.
Bad shoulder, yeah. And so, what's Cam's contract to? Schroder, Cam Johnson makes a lot.
He does.
30-something. Michael Porter Jr. makes a lot, 30-something $1 million. And so, no, it's a solid move for Denver. I think they're right where they were this past season, though. A little bit better. I thought they were contenders, as the season went on last year. So they're in the mix for sure, no doubt.
Meanwhile, at least one Kings fan here in the chateau says he's out. Campy. The same method of operation by the Kings front office. A 12-year veteran, not much on defense. It's a bad decision. I just jumped off the Kings bandwagon.
Don't worry, Campy. There'll be more people willing to jump on it now and take your place, big fella. No, I love this move if it happens, if it's confirmed. But the Athletic did put it out on their social media channels and on their push notifications that Dennis Schroder will sign with the Kings. And so I like it. I like it. Also, a couple of other moves here.
Here we go.
I'll throw up the hand. I'll throw up the hand.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
According to Shams, free agent center Luke Cornett has agreed to a 4-year, $41 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs getting big man Luke Cornett. And Clint Capella, a 3-year, $21.5 million deal with the Houston Rockets. Houston
goes
getting
back to
everybody.
Houston, huh?
Yeah, he's going back there.
Houston's been
Interesting.
busy and Memphis has been busy.
Yes, exactly. And we haven't really, other than the Fred Katz tweet, we haven't seen much regarding the Kings just yet, although our boy Alan Stiles, who you say has sources, right? Well, I know
He's
you
very well sourced.
Yeah, I believe you. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
No, he tweeted out the Dennis Schroder deal may not be as simple as previously thought.
Ooh.
He didn't even throw no eye emojis or anything. He just, so hold on.
You want me to get him on?
20 minutes ago, I'm hearing Dennis Schroder and the Sacramento Kings is extremely close to the finish line. 7 minutes ago, the Dennis Schroder deal may not be as simple as previously thought. You can text him. You can text him if you want. If he want to share anything.
But see, the thing is, I know Alan, and he'll say, I can't tell you anything more.
I know.
I know more, but I can't tell you.
Ridiculous. Yeah, you didn't even text him.
I didn't.
You said,
I did.
forget. Oh, Karis LeVert.
Let me see if I can predict. Karis LeVert, I know Cleveland was supposedly really interested in. No, was it Cleveland or was it Detroit?
I raised the arm, Jay.
Detroit was supposed to be
We have it first.
Detroit was supposed to be
breaking news.
very interested in Karis LeVert.
Karis LeVert, 2-year, $29 million deal with the Detroit Pistons, according to Sham Sharania. Yeah.
Yeah, that's their replacement for Herr Schroeder, and I guess he's
I like Karis, man.
He's a bucket.
He's a Malik Monk. He's like we talked about Jordan Clarkson. These are top-notch 6-man guys that could start in many different ways, fill in. He's a scorer, no doubt about it.
Here's my honest opinion right now on Schroeder. It's just not the type of move that fans are going to get excited about, but that doesn't mean it's a solid move and it addresses a short-term issue. I understand why fans are not excited. I don't understand why so many fans are like, I'm out. I'm never rooting for the Kings again. I understand it. If it's a short-term move, I don't really get if they're going to go after Westbrook too or Brogdon. I'm sure they have the reasons. I don't quite get that, but Schroeder coming here addresses that. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. I think I'd rather have him than Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have said that last week.
Yeah, you're coming around on that a little bit. Okay.
I've always liked Schroeder.
Well, here's the thing, though. Winning the headlines and getting fan approval, that doesn't always lead to wins. You know what I mean?
I don't know that move was here unless you did something like crazy, like if they got Trae Young, people be going crazy, and I'd be saying that's a horrible move.
Right. That's the thing. DeMar DeRozan move, people were all for that. They were geeked up over that, and we saw, record-wise, it didn't play out the way we wanted. And so I'd rather Scott Perry make moves that fans might be upset about, but for basketball reasons actually work. And then they'll come around. Fans will. Whitey, I'm telling you, Jay, clip this. It is June 30th at 4:36. By December 1, fans will be clamoring for Schroeder jerseys. They'll be like, masterful signing, Scott Perry, if it happens.
I think fans will love him because he plays hard, and Kings fans always love the guys that play hard.
That's what I'm saying. And here's the thing about Dennis Schroeder that I liked, too, and I haven't mentioned this. Tyus Jones is a solid player. Ain't nothing wrong with Tyus Jones. He's a good ball player. But the thing about Tyus Jones versus a Dennis Schroder, let's say, Tyus Jones, in my opinion, probably would never have a game where he's your leading scorer. Meaning, we'll never look back and be like, oh, the Tyus Jones game. Oh, remember when Tyus went off at 32 and helped? Dennis can have those games. So it's not all on DeMar or Zach. Dennis can come out there and get you 25, 30 or something like that on any given night when the others don't have it. Or when a DeMar or Zach are injured, out, something like that. The offense, you should still be able to function with Dennis Schroder out there.
Here's an update, not breaking news, but an update on a player that the Kings are reported to have had some interest in. According to Mark Spears, there seems to be optimism in the Warriors camp that Jonathan Kuminga will re-sign. This market's not good for him. The money's not here this summer. Maybe it is next summer. Mark J. Spears on Jonathan.
Accepting the qualifying offer? Yeah.
Boy, that would be a surprise, huh?
Your boy Allen is tweeting up a storm, too. Malik Monk is a name to monitor as league circles view him as the odd man out on the current roster.
I will monitor his name. I was going to do that anyway. Weren't you?
I'm just saying he's tweeting out a storm right now, man. Your boy is active on Twitter right now. Don't he got a toddler to be worried about? Oh, my God.
Weren't you going to monitor Malik Monk?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was keeping an eye on that one for sure.
Who's the point guard you've been monitoring who now may be available?
Well, his dad, Greg Anthony, was on NBA TV and broke the news, and then Shams tweeted that Cole Anthony and the Memphis Grizzlies could be nearing a buyout. And that means Cole would be on the free agent market, if you will. Now, this is before the Dennis Schroder news came up. Kings fans, would you be interested in Cole Anthony? What about him as a backup even?
I would like that. That would be.
So you like that over Russ as your backup, right?
Just because there's a chance, that he still has some ceiling that he hasn't fulfilled yet. Whereas Russ, we know what he is.
Yeah. No,
I'm just not. I appreciate Russ. He's such a stubborn player.
Yeah.
I just, he will take bad shots not because I want to score points, but in his mind, it's like, I got a better chance to make these shots than anybody else on the team. It's like, no, you don't. But he's stubborn. And he's
right.
He doesn't have the skills to get away with that anymore, in my opinion.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I think to me, Russ is probably best on a veteran team. Like, I thought he was perfect with the Clippers and the Nuggets to an extent. A young team like us, not a young team, but with younger players, at the guard position, it just doesn't make 100%.
It sure sounds like they're in. There's been consistent reporting now on that
about Russ.
So it sounds like they are definitely very interested in that.
I'm nothing new yet, nothing else to report. But if this Dennis Schroder thing happens, I will be happy. I will say it's a successful free agent campaign for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, we'll keep monitoring all the names in free agency. I have a text into Allen, so I'll let you know if we got any clarification on that. Also, Jabari Smith's extension, setting the parameters for Keegan. We'll look at that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Get to your local Toyota dealer because the 4th of July sales event is on. Nothing says summer like the open road. And with these deals, that road trip starts now, not later. Get a low-cost lease on the all-hybrid 51 MPG 2025 Camry or Dynamic RAV4 and meet the all-new 2025 4Runner. The hottest deals of the summer won't last long. Pack your Toyota with your favorite people and get ready to roll. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit at 6/30/25.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, there's a real chance of Jacob Wilson starting the All-Star game. As of the start of the A's current trip, he had a 250,000 vote lead at shortstop. Next up, the final vote of the top two finishers. If he wins that, he'll become the first A's shortstop to start the game in 50 years. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but has been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento, and I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 77 years. Look for made-in-America brands like Stickley, Bassett, Stanton, Trailway, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sales event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
The 4th of July, it's all about family, fireworks, and freedom. And this 4th of July, Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is offering your family the freedom to choose America's brand at the guaranteed lowest price in town. This 4th of July, the fireworks are starting early at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You can check out one of Northern California's largest selections for yourself at sacssuperstore.com, where you'll find the lowest prices on the new Ram, Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, the whole lineup. Centrally located across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course, and visit them online to see their full selection and their guaranteed lowest prices at sacssuperstore.com.
Afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Here's the situation. It's been reported by Fred Katz from The Athletic that Dennis Schroder will sign with the Kings. We don't have any other details on that. Some people have pointed out that Shams hasn't reported anything on that. And our buddy Alan Stiles on X, Drape saw it. Alan said it could be a little more complicated. Was that the word? Involved?
Now I got to search up Alan Stiles. I don't follow him, so it doesn't immediately come up.
Oh, you got
to. No, deal may not be as simple as previously thought.
Mm-hmm. So I reached out to Alan. He says there are rumors of a sign-and trade.
Oh, my gosh. What was Alan's major in college? Any idea?
Awesomeness. I don't know.
We need to ask him that. Why don't you text him that? As a journalist, you can't say there were rumors
I just asked him.
Like, there's rumors about there's rumors about Malik Monk. There's rumors about Domantas Sabonis.
Well, I don't know. I'm just sharing that with you. I'll tell you this.
That's not responsible, Whitey. I'm sorry.
Well, he didn't tweet that. He just texted
me.
But
you put it out.
There were rumors. Responsible to me?
Who was it? Somebody in their mom's basement talking about it?
I don't know, but it makes sense. That could be why what's coming out is just partial information, and Shams hasn't shared the details yet. If it's true, I'll tell you this. And you know this, we were just talking about this. If the Kings have to give something up to bring in Schroder,
right?
Boy,
that would be
that better be a second round, second round pick.
You might need a couple days off.
Yeah, hey, I could use it too. I could use it. Your boy Matt George. All right. If what I was hearing this morning has any validity to it, there's a reason why the Schroder signing hasn't been confirmed. For the record, I 100% believe it's happening, but the Kings are working for more, and how they sign Schroder is part of it. Ooh.
I appreciate that from Matt George. That's interesting. And like I've said, I know for a fact that in the past he has had really good information on what Kings are doing.
Okay.
What could you possibly want more from the Pistons? Unless we're talking about a third team. I mean, pull the Pistons roster up. What do you believe you're getting from the Pistons more that you're not going to be able to spin back towards them? Does that mean you're giving up Devin Carter and getting something back, or what are we talking here?
Malik Beasley.
No, I know, right? We don't want that guy. Not right now. I'm looking at the roster. Let's say, who would we want?
We'd want wing depth, since now we didn't have any, and now today it's worse with LaRavia leaving.
Ron Holland? No way they move off him, right?
Probably not.
He's
a guard anyway, isn't he?
Well, he listed as 6'8". But
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
According to Basketball Reference,
okay.
Yeah. No interest in Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris, Beef Stew.
I don't have any room for him. I already got centers.
Jay Nivey. Nah, they're not going to.
It's got to be a third team.
Yeah, got to be, yeah.
Marcus
Unless
Sasser.
you're getting draft compensation back.
But why? But then we have to give up something, Jay.
Got to give it up.
What are we giving up? Now you're talking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Ron Holland makes sense, like you said.
Are they willing to give him up? But then
I don't know.
Then we giving up somebody of value though to make that happen.
What did Ron Holland? How many minutes he played last year?
No, he didn't play much.
Yeah.
Let me see, Jay. Pardon me. Ron Holland, paging Ron Holland.
I got you, Whitey.
I have it right here.
I got you. 15.6 minutes.
And what was he throwing up?
6.4 points per game on 24% 3-point shooting, 47% field goal percentage.
So you got to, as a King, Scott Perry, you got to say, hey, I like him.
He's 19, played last year, so he's 20.
I like his upside.
But again, we're just guessing.
Yeah.
But that could be what's keeping this from being announced more fully. And we want to thank Alan Stiles for helping us out with that today.
I wonder also, and I'm going to have to text somebody. Does the order of your exceptions, how you use your exceptions, affect things? For instance, do you need to sign Russ first and then Schroder, or vice versa? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing what could be, because according, Matt George talked about the order of which they do things,
From the 916, a sign and trade deal would require a 3-year minimum.
I didn't know that.
We'll have to confirm that, but thank you for the information. Oh, yes. Thank you from the 916. Maybe Simone Fontecchio reports the Pistons were gauging his trade interest earlier in the day. I did see that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's not moving the needle, is it? Is it enough to make you? I mean, you're giving up second round picks for that.
Yeah, I'm just guessing, Jay.
Yeah.
Like, say, what parts would they want? And it all depends on, is this something that is being done because Schroder says, I want to sign a trade. Is it being done because the Kings say, oh, we want more than that? You know, who's driving this? Who is trying to get more? And we need that stinger on the first day of free agency.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Shams bomb. Free agent center Brook Lopez has agreed to a 2-year, $18 million deal.
Don't say Lakers or Warriors.
With the Los Angeles Clippers.
Oh, my
Clippers. The Clip joint, Jay. The Clippers.
Brook
Wow.
Lopez and Zubats?
Yeah, they got some bigs there. So he's coming off the bench, right?
Yeah.
Yes. He has to be coming off the bench. Interesting.
I did not see that one
What
coming.
do you make of that one?
I don't know. I guess towards the end of his career, he's trying to go, on another good team, close to where he went to college anyway. Yeah. Limited minutes for him.
All right. Yeah.
That surprises me.
That's a shot. I hadn't heard that, you know? I heard the Lakers, obviously.
Did you think he was going to say Lakers, Jay?
Yeah, when he said LA, I didn't see the
Angeles.
Clippers because Zubats, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've read so much that Brook Lopez, and I'm not saying the Clippers aren't in position. I think they believe they are, that he is playing for a ring and nothing else at this point. I mean, common sense.
Who, Lopez?
Money, yeah. But
Yeah.
he's hunting for a ring.
Yeah.
Now, if the Kings do a sign and trade to get Schroder and they give up anything of value, I don't know if they will, but if they give up a player, there's going to be a lot of fans that are upset.
Right.
But
it could be, though, if it's part of something bigger and you give up something, another player or something.
Right.
You got to
So
see
there
how
could
it
be more
play
coming
out.
back.
Yeah. Because you wouldn't need to give up any assets to get Schroder. You could sign him with the mid-level, you know? Why would you give up assets unless there's other people part of the deal?
The only thing I can think of there is if he would only do it, a sign a trade means he gets more money, right? A sign a trade means sign me to the amount that my team that I'm currently with can
offer me.
Yeah, and then trade me.
Now,
if you execute a sign and trade, I think you're hard capped because the NBA kind of frowns on that.
But here's the thing about it too, Whitey. Forget about the players. If the Kings offered more than the mid-level for Schroder, fans would be upset, it sounds like. You know what I mean? Even if you don't give up assets, let's say $16 million. $16 million for Dennis Schroder. What are we doing here? You know, and so
You know what's coming.
Yep, you know it's coming. Yeah. So,
Dynamic Butterfly with an interesting point that crossed my mind as well. Brook Lopez leaving first domino to fall for the Bucks. They're going to blow it up. I don't know, but there was a lot of chatter this morning from the likes of Brian Windhorst that some teams, the Rockets, the Knicks, the Spurs, they are keeping an eye on Giannis, and a lot of teams around the league don't think that Giannis is committed to the Bucks for the rest of this year. Sure, he hasn't officially asked for a trade, but the reporting from Windhorst and Shams is that he is open, he being Giannis, to just about anything, and some teams still think he could be available this offseason.
Yeah, but regarding blowing it up, didn't they just re-sign Bobby Portis?
Yeah,
so
I
don't think they're blowing it up.
Kevin Porter Jr. also.
Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. They re-inked up. So the Giannis thing is because here's the thing. I don't know if I'm I guess the timing, but are you re-signing Bobby Portis if you're not sure if Giannis is going to be there? Like, if you are going to trade Giannis, you might as well really just bottom out and blow it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's take a quick time out. We'll get back to more that's going on here. On the first day of free agency, Schroder or Westbrook, how about both? And we got to get to the Keegan situation, Jabari Smith's extension, setting the parameters for Keegan's extension. That and more breaking news as it unfurls here with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Celebrate the 4th with freedom from high prices. The 4th of July savings sale is happening now at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Fire up your summer with 4th of July savings on a new Civic or Accord. Own or lease today at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
It's what you wait for all week. The three-pointers, the rebounds, the thrill of every shot. Win or lose, it's the hope that keeps you coming back. The dream that this time, it might be your year. And so you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when the pressure's on, your support is everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Bring the whole family to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. It's more than a game. It's an experience your kids will never forget. Enjoy exciting action on the field, delicious ballpark food, and fun activities for all ages. From meeting Dinger, the mascot, to running the bases every Sunday, there is something for everyone. Create lasting memories with your family this season. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock.
Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West Grading 2011 renewal. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
And so there are a few teams that have interest in Russell Westbrook. The Sacramento Kings, the New York Knicks, And I was told the Sacramento Kings, they will have a meeting. I believe it will be a phone conversation with Russell Westbrook to try to lure him to Sacramento. Sacramento, we talked about this before. They are in dire need of acquiring a point guard. They need a starting point guard, and they would like a quality backup point guard as well. So they're going to do all that they can to shore up that spot. But yeah, Russell Westbrook.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
That was Chris Haynes, and of course, the report emerged, I think, last night from Jake Fisher on the Steinline that the Kings were pursuing Dennis Schroder, but also hope to add, in addition to Schroder, they hope to add Russell Westbrook or Malcolm Brogdon. Strange as that sounds, it looks like that's what they are pursuing. Now, according to Fred Katz from The Athletic, Dennis Schroder is going to sign with the Kings. He's coming to the Kings, but there are no other details there. There have been some things thrown around suggesting the deal may be more involved. Our own Alan Stiles had something on X suggesting could be more involved, and apparently there are suggestions that this could involve a sign and trade. Now we get, we start to get into the weeds on this stuff, but as someone pointed out, Drapes on the chat, let's see here. You're talking about 3 or 4 years if you're talking about a sign and trade. The player must receive a contract of either 3 or 4 years, or only the first year must be fully guaranteed. So anyway, there's a lot of ramifications here if it's a sign and trade. The receiving team cannot have used the taxpayer mid-level exception in that season. It gets really convoluted. We don't even know for sure if that's what we're looking at, but we're waiting for more information here, and we're waiting to see if this Schroder to the Kings deal, A, is actually going to happen, and B, how involved it might be.
Yeah. Can you read the part about the taxpayer
the
exception?
Sure. And this is my source here is the wiki.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah. The receiving team cannot have used the so-called taxpayer mid-level exception in that season. The taxpayer mid-level exception is a limited financial buffer that teams with total payroll, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, according to this, when you have a list of restrictions, receiving team cannot have used the so-called taxpayer mid-level exception in that season.
Like this upcoming season, do you say? Like it's just, I was trying to figure that out. Okay. All right. Yeah.
So it could be, that could be why we're not getting all of the information on Schroder yet. And maybe the Kings are extracting more assets. Maybe there's some negotiations going on. I know that when you engage in a sign and trade, unless they've changed it with the new CBA, I think you're hard capped here. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Were we hard capped this last year? I know we didn't approach it, but were we hard capped?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we did the sign and trade with DeMar, right? That was a sign and trade officially. So I don't know. We're Bobby Marks and Keith Smith and those guys when you need them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If Schroder is the guy, because I believe they could just outright sign him, and the fact that this has taken so long leads me to believe A, it's part of a bigger deal, or B, the way things have to be structured, if you will, Schroder may be the second thing that comes. So it's, I mean, from Jason Anderson wrote a story about it as well, quoting, Fred Katz. So seems like it's a done deal. It's going to get done. It's just a matter of how do you do it here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to raise my hand for this one. I'm not doing it, Jay, for this one.
Then you got to raise your left hand. So that lets us know you have one.
Put both down or something like that, Sham says Luka Garza has agreed to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal with the Boston Celtics.
Luka to the Celtics.
Yeah, right. You guys agree with me on that? Not raising my hand on that.
Thank
one,
you.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
There's a limit to the breaking news stinger. We ain't using it for Luka Garza.
Yeah, we've had today, Ty Jerome to
Memphis,
Kevon Looney to the Pelicans. We had Bruce Brown and Cam Johnson both going to the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Johnson going in exchange for a first rounder and Michael Porter Jr.
That's the big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal right there. I like that move for Denver. Interesting for Brooklyn. I guess it's more about the first-round pick because I don't see Michael Porter Jr. as somebody you're really building around when it's championship time. But that 2032 first-round pick from Denver should be a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm. It looks like now you're looking at the roster, assuming that Schroder is going to happen, and given that Jake LaRavia is going to the Lakers, that the Kings need more length than they need. They're going to have to address the depth in the front court. 3-and-D wings, you're down basically to one right now, unless you're going to say, no, Nick Clifford can be a 3-and-D wing. Devin Carter could be a 3-and-D wing. All right.
Yeah, you got to, yeah, it gets kind of fuzzy there when you start looking at that. We like Rod Brooks, right? Rod
He's
Brooks
been on the show.
Right, he's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
He's kind of a Kings hater, though.
Is he?
Yeah. Somebody tweeted, move on from Fox and Halliburton for Schroder. King's vision is second to none. And Rod Brooks quote tweeted it. Stevie Wonder has better vision than the Sacramento Kings. Should we take him to task for that one? And don't laugh, Whitey. I know you about to crack up over there.
Was it Bill Bellamy? Is that his buddy that said he took Stevie TV shopping?
Oh, right.
Have you heard that?
I've been hearing so many stories about Stevie,
like watching basketball on TV and stuff.
Right.
You go, wait a minute. Right. But that's a whole nother
That's
thing.
a whole different thing. I heard Dave Chappelle's just tell some stuff about that and how Stevie is walking across the stage and knew where Mariah was to accept the award and everything like it. Yeah. There's no way.
I'll show you a video. One time when Obama was president, Paul McCartney, they gave him some award, I think, because he donated a lot of money. After the show, and Stevie Wonder was there, a lot of luminaries were there. After the show, somebody's walking off, and Stevie's standing there clapping with all the people that performed. And somebody bumps into a microphone, and it falls. Guess who caught it?
No,
I will show you the video. I will show you the video.
Come on, man.
I will show you the video.
No way. Yeah, I got to see the video. I got to see the video.
All right. But anyway, Rod Brooks, that's out of bounds.
Our boy Alice Styles tweeting again. 30 minutes ago, Malik Monk is a name to monitor as league circles view him as the odd man out on the current roster. That was 30 minutes ago from Alan Styles. 44 seconds ago. This also may be affecting his perceived market. No, that's it. I'm talking about Monk. No,
I just wonder why you read it.
Looking at. No, I just. I'm done. Oh man, I can't wait till this day is over, man. Can't wait till free agency is over.
It just started.
I know.
You're only 2 hours in, brother.
I know, man. It's
got
just
a lot of time.
Everybody tweeting, man. Everybody tweeting. What else you got, Wade?
From June 2024, Sportskeeda. When teams use a biannual exception or when a team acquires a player via a sign and trade deal, then you're hard capped. But that was June 2024. So that was a current CBA, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We don't even know if that's actually what the Kings are working on. Oh, we have a call for another stinger.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Shams just tweeted about Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I know Jake Fisher tweeted about him. According to Shams, Nickeil Alexander-Walker has agreed to a 4-year, $62 million deal with the Atlanta Hawks. Plus a player option and a trade kicker. Damn.
4 for 62?
Yeah, what's that? 15.5 per?
Man, I'm hunting. If that's all it's taking, and I'm talking like I'm a billionaire, but man, that's all it's taking.
I'll tell you what, Atlanta is making some moves out here, boys.
Mm-hmm.
They're making Porzingis, Alexander Walker. Who else they got? They got somebody else. Maybe it was in the draft or something like Atlanta. Watch out for them in the East.
Yeah, there had been suggestions that Detroit might be pursuing Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yes. So now he goes to Atlanta for 15.5 per for 4 years.
So what about anything in the West? How have the Western teams done in the draft and in free agency so far? And I know we got a long ways to go. Denver, I think, has made some solid moves.
Yeah.
The Rockets, of course, have had a sensational.
They've done well.
At least it's garnered a lot of attention. We'll see if KD works out. And who else did?
Clippers got Lopez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? Lakers got LaRavia.
Yeah.
Everybody's making moves.
Yeah. And the Lakers could be in on Ayton, right?
Yeah.
They could be looking at a center.
Yeah. That's what the tea leaves are pointing towards. Yeah. So, West is getting tougher, man. Teams are out there making moves.
Speaking of the Rockets, as you probably know, they extended Jabari Smith, 5 years, $122 million. So is that it, Drapes? Jay, does that mean if you're the Kings, like, yeah, that's pretty much what we'll give Keegan? We'll extend Keegan. We'll offer him that extension for roughly that same amount. Maybe, a little bit. We'll quibble here or there. 5 years, $122 million for Keegan. You in? Get it taken care of?
Yeah, I think so. So you're okay with that, Jay? That number.
I thought he was going to get closer to the 30 million or so.
Right,
and
right.
if we're coming in at 22 million bucks, yeah, I think this signing probably resets the market for a few guys out there compared to last year's signing of like the Trey Murphys, that we were kind of looking at.
Yeah,
that might be Keegan. If you drop that down a year, 4 to 122. Now we're looking at the $30 million range. That's for me. That's about where I think max 22 million. Okay.
Okay.
I'm interested now.
That's
I'm
good to
thinking
know.
about keeping them a little bit longer.
Yeah, because I know we've had this discussion over the last year or so, and you have not been all the way in on Keegan necessarily. So
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, that's a
solid deal.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. If you look at production, I mean, we talked about this earlier today. I know he and Jabari Smith, their numbers, if you put them side by side, they're hard to tell apart. So if 122 for 5 is good enough for Jabari Smith, then Keegan, that's about what the market says you're worth right now.
Yeah,
Let's do
it. That's a good deal, especially for the team, I think. Because what did Murphy get 24 per? Something like that last year?
Yeah, I think for one less year too, right?
Yeah,
With
maybe. Yeah. And so if you get Keegan 22 to 24, like in that range, I think that's really good. Really good. Looking at Bobby Marks talk about Atlanta. So they're starting 5, Trae Young, Porzingis, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's solid.
Mm-hmm.
That's solid.
What about the youngster? Their number 2 pick.
Reese Shea. Yeah, he's not listed on there. Yeah. They got a nice little club out there.
Yeah, they're building something, I think, but it all hinges on Trae Young and whether you can bank on him and whether they're going to extend him. On the text line here, we have this from the 209. Kings could have got Cam Johnson for Keegan.
Yeah, I don't know. First round pick. Number 1 pick.
Yeah, from the 530, Isaiah Stewart, bad man in the paint, can hit threes.
Beef stew.
They're loaded with centers.
Yeah, we already got.
We got 3 right now, right?
Yeah.
I love Isaiah Stewart. From the 916, Kings have that $15 million trade exception from the Herder deal last year also. They got so many. I don't know how they keep it straight, all the exceptions they have.
They got options, right?
They
could do things. Avenues to acquire some talent.
Mm-hmm. From the 916, we're getting Russ, then Schroder, then a wing or Kuminga. The Kuminga news, it looks like that may be back burner now for everyone, including the Warriors. It was reported that the Bulls were interested, that the Heat was interested, the Kings had some interest. Looks like the trade market, at least now, is not materializing for Kuminga. And according to Mark Spears, he's expected to re-sign with the Warriors. And whatever happens with the Warriors and Kuminga, it's expected to take a long time. So don't hold your breath on any Kuminga news anytime soon. Yeah, and we're out on him coming here anyway.
Yeah, we're out on him, and according to Mark Spears, it might be best for him too to opt in. Take that qualifying offer, and then become unrestricted next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from the 916. I assume this is a Kings fan. Today's news and rumors making me ill.
So losing LaRavia,
that's a tough one.
And signing Schroder potentially is making this person ill.
I think a lot of people are feeling that way. I get the sense people are kind of warming up to the Schroder thing a little bit. Not everybody. I know Campy said I'm out.
He ain't texted us on the YouTube since then. Oh no, there he is. All right.
Not rooting for him anymore.
I'm done with you guys. No, I mean, and back to real quick, the Jabari Smith Jr. Shout out to my guy James Rasmussen. He just hit me up 24.4 per year for Jabari.
Okay.
Smith, I believe he said. And so that's solid. That's solid if you can get Keegan. Just texted a source to see, where those talks stand on the extension. I'll let you know if I hear back. But I think you got to bring them back, extend them. Because here's the thing. Keegan has shown promise, the ability to fit into the system, not looking to go rogue, not a ball stopper. The Kuminga thing in Golden State, I don't see that happening with Keegan, where Kuminga's out of the rotation, on the bench.
And he's also letting you know he's not happy about it.
Right, exactly. And so I think they'll get something done. And $24 million, I can see that.
Yeah, the other thing is Keegan defends.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kuminga has shown he can defend too. That would be a very exciting and dynamic front court. I just think there's too much risk involved. And if you would bring in Kuminga, to me, the only reason you would do that would be if you were trying to set him up as maybe your guy going forward. And on this roster, that doesn't even make sense.
Right. It doesn't. Like, is he the guy? Do you think he can be a guy?
No.
I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. It's possible, but I wouldn't bet on it. But if that car with the parachute and trunk went over the cliff, I'd sure watch. I would sure watch. Speaking of your sources, I would give you money, not my money, but like if Dave had some money over here or something, to ask your source, Tony Jones, what in the world the Utah Jazz are thinking trading Sexton and a pick to Charlotte for Nurkic.
Find that.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like, okay, if you want to trade Sexton for Nurkic, but why attach a pick to it as well? And so, I'm going to text Tony Jones because he's well dialed in.
We'll trade you Sexton for Nurkic. No, you're going to have to give us more now.
Right.
All right, a second rounder.
Here, take a pick also. Like, if anything, Charlotte should be sending the second round pick back.
That's what you would think.
You would think.
Yeah. Some people look at it and have suggested, oh, well, maybe the Jazz are sending Kessler to the Lakers and maybe they need center depth. I don't know. It just doesn't add up, especially for an organization. I know it's Danny's kid now that's running it, but, I mean, they don't do dumb things, right? The Utah Jazz, they don't typically do dumb things.
I don't know, man. They've been head scratch. Think about it. Like, why the hell haven't they traded John Collins yet? You know what I mean? Why they could have traded Jordan Clarkson. Instead, you buy him out. I don't know what they're doing out there right now. It just doesn't make sense, some of their moves. And I just hit up Tony Jones. I know he's busy, obviously, tracking all this stuff going on today, but it just didn't make sense. For Nurkic, you give up a young asset in the point guard and attach a pick? It didn't make sense.
We got to address this. The gentleman or lady who talked about the rumors making them ill. Stuff is flying about Monk to the Pistons. Come on. What? We don't know anything about that for sure.
Yeah,
stuff is flying around. There's a lot of stuff flying around.
Yeah, I have. Have you seen?
No, I just know there's suggestions that there could be a sign and trade.
Right.
That is, at this point, I would say it's a rumor. There are a lot of rumors, and rumors. What's the success rate on a rumor? 29%, maybe. So I don't know. Yeah, it's as Alan Stiles said. Monk is a name to monitor, right?
Why are you doing this, man? You said
you read it. You read it on the air,
dude. I gotta go. Yes, he said Monk is a name to monitor.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, given that there are suggestions that it could be a sign and trade, I don't know if Kings fans would stand for that. If it's Monk out and Schroder in, that would be a tough one for Kings fans. There would be, at least in the text line, there'd be a little revolt. That might be where Kyle Draper says, I need a day off.
Yeah, I would, if that happened, because these Kings fans would go crazy, and I couldn't give any context or speak to that. I might sit that one out.
Is it possible that, I won't even go there.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you, is it possible Schroder right now is a better player than Malik Monk?
No, I don't. I mean, they're different. They're different basketball players. I think Malik is really, really, really good as that six man, like top 5 6 man in the league. Good. Whereas Schroder, I think, is probably better suited to be the starting point guard instead of Malik. I handled that one too.
Yeah. Well done. I'm hearing Brogdon and the Wizards are discussing a sign and trade with the Kings.
Who said what? You got sources now too?
No, somebody posted that, but they said it might not be this, but it could be a sign and trade if Brogdon goes to the Kings. That's what someone and I, we see so much stuff here. There's so much information flying around. But right now it's time, Jay, for another stinger.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Friend of show, Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype reports Tyus Jones is nearing a deal with the Orlando Magic.
That's interesting.
Orlando, Tyus Jones.
Wow.
So that would mean he's out on Sacramento. No Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
And I see you furrowing your brow there. What's
they've got they've made some interesting choices at point guard. He's a good shooter, and I know they need more shooting, but they probably, I would think, got him at a pretty good price because he's still got to prove his value. Last year was a 1-year deal with Phoenix for little money where he was supposed to show, no, I can still play in this league, and he really didn't.
Right.
So Orlando's probably getting him at a bargain.
Another 1-year deal or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me see who Orlando has. You know, they got Jalen Suggs coming back from injury. You add Desmond Bane out there. Let's see who else they have at guard.
Because they don't have Cole Anthony anymore.
No Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, just to tie up the Nickeil Alexander-Walker to Atlanta, it is a trade. Sam Amick is saying a second rounder in cash going back to Minnesota, which allows Minnesota to keep an MLE, of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
They want
All
some
right.
type of exception there.
Okay.
I think that's a significant loss for Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. And have they done anything to replace him? I don't think so.
No,
they haven't done any other moves. Yeah,
he's tough to replace.
Right. No, and I thought he was huge coming off the bench in the playoffs for them too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I remember one game where McDaniel fouled out, and then it's like, that's all right. They've just have another one of those.
Yep.
And then he came in to play.
Yeah, that's a big loss and a huge gain for Atlanta. Wow. There's been some moves out here, man. We need more on this Schroder thing. Fred Katz is the only one that reported it. And we're not saying Fred is wrong or anything because he's an outstanding journalist, but how come nobody else?
There must be more to it. There's
got to
more
be some
moving
details
pieces.
to it.
There's
Yeah.
stuff going on. Can you answer this one, Drapes? I don't see how adding 2 shoot first point guards is going to benefit the current roster. How does Schroder and Westbrook fit into the rotation being shoot first guards?
Jay, can you just replay my clip from 310 or whatever it was? Do I have to go into this again, Whitey?
Yeah, because we have different people listening at this time. You know, this is a big day. People just getting off work, driving home.
What constitutes, and I want to have this discussion, what constitutes a shoot first point guard? Do we know?
That would be someone who's more inclined to shoot than play make.
Okay.
And let's see, who was it? I know that Anthony Slater on this show has characterized Schroder as a shoot first point guard. And I know that your source, and we don't know who that is, but we know it's a highly placed source, very knowledgeable source, has questioned the fit of Schroder for that reason.
But the numbers do not back that up. This past season, 28 minutes a game. Guess how many shots he took?
I'm going to recuse myself because you've mentioned it.
I know. Just 28 minutes per game. Dennis Schroder this past season took 11 shots per game. Now, mind you, let's go to the Sacramento Kings roster. Let's see what the Sacramento Kings guys shot per game this season. When I look at the stats from the 2024-2025 Sacramento Kings, just on field goal attempts, Fox, DeRozan, Levine, Monk, Domas all took more shots than Dennis Schroder. Keegan Murray took 10.8 shots in 34 minutes. So if Dennis Schroder came here to Sacramento, based on the shot attempts, he would be behind DeMar, Zach, Malik, Domas. So he'd be the 5th person in terms of, that's not a shoot first point guard, in my opinion, Whitey. So that's just one thing. Let's go back to Brooklyn when he was lighting it up. Now, I don't want to do that because he split time between Brooklyn and Toronto last year, 2 seasons ago. That season, guess how many shot attempts, Whitey? 31 minutes, 11.6. That's not a shoot first point guard. Let's go back when he played 66 games with the Los Angeles Lakers. 30 minutes he played, Whitey. Guess how many shot attempts in 30 minutes? 9.8.
Only 9?
That is not a shoot first point guard. I'm not letting you guys talk about Dennis Schroder like that no more. I don't want to hear the shoot first point. I just went the last 3 seasons, Whitey, 9 shot attempts, 11 shot attempts. To me, Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, those are shoot first point guards. That narrative should not stick right now with Dennis Schroder, in my opinion.
He's a smart player. I think can recognize he's shown the ability, the capacity to recognize what he needs to do to fit in to a particular offense.
Right.
I
That's
think
what I'm
it's
saying.
fair to say, like when he was with Atlanta, and I don't know what the numbers say, but he got up a lot of shots and they needed him to. And I think he's shown the ability to adjust depending on
the roster
what his team
around
needs, which is what a point guard, aka the quarterback of your offense, needs to be able to do.
Exactly. Whitey, I'm looking at the numbers. The most he shot since shooting 17 shots a game for 17-18 in Atlanta, one season he shot 14.8 in OKC. That's third option numbers. That's not a shoot first point guard, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong and people want to disagree. That narrative should not stick with Dennis Schroder.
Yeah, I think he's capable of both. That's the thing. And I think at times he has been shoot first point guard, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have the capacity to adjust. And I think we saw that with Detroit last year. But you know how it is when a player comes in the league and they're known for this or that.
It sticks with them, right? It's hard to shake it.
Yeah. When we come back, this list of 7 underrated free agents includes a potential Kings target next on Sacktown Sports.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports injury update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers, out with that strained left oblique, started his rehab assignment last week with AAA Las Vegas. His expected return is July. Zach Geloff, out with that stress reaction in his ribs, continues his rehab in AAA Las Vegas and is targeting a return during the A's 9-game homestand in early July. That was your Sacktown Sports injury update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Get to your local Toyota dealer because the 4th of July sales event is on. This summer, freedom comes with a full tank and endless possibilities. Right now, get a low-cost lease on 2025 Tacoma or get an incredible $3,000 cash back on 2025 Tundra. Plus, check out the all-new 2025 4Runner. The hottest deals of the summer won't last long, so don't miss the chance to roam. Your Toyota truck is ready for it all. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credit. Cashback available through TMNA and cannot be combined with other offers at 6/30/25.
Hey.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Bubba freeze, free Danny. She gon' make us fight. I got a mean girl.
It's with some trepidation as Kings fans continue to explore free agency. Jake LaRavia going to the Lakers. We're over that though, right? I mean, that sure it hurt at the time. It stung.
Dog, it's been 2 hours. Is that all it takes to get over Jake LaRavia?
He's gone. Yesterday's news.
You know, the thing is, Jake LaRavia was like Malik Monk last year. Remember? We got to re-sign Jake. We got to do whatever we can, and we got to. And now he's gone.
Yeah.
19 games in the Kings uniform.
Yeah. We were fooling ourselves, though, with as much as they could afford to offer him, according to the rules, 5.1. It's like it would have taken a miracle to get him to stay here, right?
Yeah, I agree. Do you
He just didn't make it any easier. I love it here. I love Doug Christie. I love Sacramento. Well, that's all right.
Right. Do you
I'm over it?
You on Instagram, Whitey, or no?
Yeah.
You follow Jake?
I don't think so.
I thought you might because he's a huge card collector.
Yeah.
I might have to unfollow him now.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it no more.
That's why I never bothered to follow him.
Yeah,
I knew I was going to have to unfollow him eventually.
Right. Click, click. May even block him for going to the enemy like that.
Do you think fans would boo him at all? And I don't.
That's a good question.
He wasn't here long enough.
Dog, but
just because he went to the Lakers?
They loved him. Yeah. That's the thing. They went to the Lakers. It's like he doesn't get no ovation, though, right? 19 games. We handing out ovations for 19 games.
What do you think? Tribute video?
Right. Exactly.
I'll be okay if we were a Philadelphia fan. Just boom.
Dog, this is even worse.
Just Philly fan it.
Oh,
you have more?
Jake LaRavia on his Instagram story. Couple of gold and purple hearts. Lake Show. Hope Lakers fans are as excited as I am. Let's work. I guess he was born in Pasadena before moving to Indiana. But still, come on, Jake.
How did we fall for all that?
Right.
Oh, he loves it here. He's going to stay. He wants to stay.
Damn.
It was over, man. We knew what time it was.
Mm-hmm.
Riding with the enemy.
Yeah. So, and we're also still waiting to find out what's going on with Dennis Schroder. Is he coming here? Looks like it. What's the deal?
That is crazy that we've only had one tweet about it, and that's Fred Katz. We had Chris Haynes say, the Kings were going to hop on a Zoom call with him.
It's not all Chris Haynes said today.
Right. But leave Chris Haynes alone.
You're going after all these other people who tweet stuff you don't like. And then
I know,
tweets
but that's because that's my guy.
Yeah.
Chris Haynes, you could make a mistake. He made a mistake.
Yes.
But no, you jumping on Zoom calls. Dog, when I got my Kings job, I did Zoom calls at first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a step. We were interested in you. And so, but we haven't heard anything since. Real quick here, Colin Sexton. You asked me about the DR boy, Tony Jones.
Yes. Why did the Jazz trade Colin Sexton and a second rounder to Charlotte, Jay's team, for Nurkic?
Because they needed him gone, he says. I'm like, attaching a pick too? They needed him gone that bad? He said, yes, he was in the way.
For Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey, some of those young guards. Who they draft?
Walter Clayton Jr.
They got what? Yeah, they got Walter Clayton
future.
Jr. So,
and they still got like Collier and
they got some young kids out there. Okay, all right.
Weren't we talking about Sexton here? Like, hey, what do you think?
Yeah,
he's available.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were high on him too. We would have loved to have him.
Yeah. Real quick here from ESPN, they have 7 free agents that are underrated, and some of these are no longer free agents because this thing has moved pretty quickly. What do you think of these guys? Are these underrated free agents in your mind? Chris Paul, Chris Boucher, Bruce Brown. Oh, he's gone now, yeah. Malcolm Brogdon.
Dude, I gotta look up Brogdon. How many games he played last year? Jeez.
We'll put this list together.
Is this Keith Smith?
No, somebody on ESPN.
Kevin
32 years old, injury history, lengthy injury history.
Lengthy.
Brogdon probably won't win any more awards in his career.
24 games this last.
What about the year before?
39.
What about the year before?
67. Year before, 36, 56, 54. Damn.
Well, one of those years he helped Boston.
Yeah, he got that 6th man of the year.
Yeah.
Played one season in Boston. Think about that. You play one season in Boston, win 6th man of the year, and they can't wait to get you out of town.
This says Brogdon would be a strong fit for a host of contenders in need of a third guard. But the Kings apparently are in on Malcolm Brogdon. Luke Cornett, he's not a free agent anymore.
Nope. San Antonio.
My guy. D'Anthony Melton. But he's coming off a major injury.
Lakers support reportedly
good player.
In him.
Good player if he's healthy. Not very big, but a good player. And a guy that I know in the past you have professed a lot of admiration for, Gary Trent Jr.
Ooh, he would have been nice. We don't need him now, but he would have been a solid pickup like last year, a couple years ago. A guy that can fill it up. Our boy Emran, I think, is watching the show.
Emran Pilati?
Yeah, True Sports Cards and Collectibles. I think this is him on YouTube. Dennis Schroder cards have seen a 0.15% increase in calls here at the shop. Says he's going to looking in the 5-cent box for all my Schroder. I tell you what, if we get Schroder,
disrespecting Schroder, man.
I'm gonna get a Schroder jersey. You know how you can
you
customize
that custom.
Yeah, I would get a Schroder jersey.
Does he have the umlaut on his jersey over the O? You know, the two dots.
Yeah. That's a good Schroder. I think so. That's a good question. I said, how do you do that on your keyboard? Because maybe it just shows up.
You could just go to the thing and tell them, bank me one. Come on, Drake.
No, I'm not. Man.
Right to the corner, man. The southwest corner or whatever.
I go holler at my guy Miguel and be like, I get the authentic joint.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah,
the jersey's like, yeah, okay. Are you gonna put the Schroder?
He doesn't have that anymore, does he?
I don't know. He's known for it.
Yeah,
Are you gonna put it in there?
Nah, NBC might get mad. Yeah, it might be going a little too far. I can't wear anything without it being
talking
approved.
about the part.
Yeah, the little part and the color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd look good on drapes. That and the jersey.
Yeah, this is rock. I mean, this is Emran. Drape's going to ask me for a 50% discount on a Dennis Schroder 5-cent card. Damn Skippy, 2 for $5. Buy one, get one free. Get it signed, too.
Yeah. Boy, people are just not happy. Screw it. Let's get Ben Simmons. Do the Kings have a closer? Because Schroder ain't it. Would rather have had either Russells. Just think we'll lose a lot of games at the end. Well, I don't think you'd be bringing Russell here to be your
closer.
Schroder. Yeah. You may still get one of the Russells. He could still come here.
Is Westbrook a closer?
If
you're another team.
Yeah. If you ask him, he is.
I will say this. I'm all for freedom of speech. We welcome all opinions and thoughts. But damn, it gets tiresome sometimes.
Well, it's just interesting to hear how downtrodden some of these fans are, unless some of them are, like Laker fans that are trying to make Kings feel worse.
They do that sometimes.
Why is it so hard for the Kings to get and keep a proven wing? Been a problem for years. They haven't drafted a lot of them.
Yeah. Is Keegan a wing?
Yes.
Okay.
Right? 6'8", solid. Yeah.
Solid.
You had 2 wings. 2. You need 2 wings to fly. Now you only have 1 wing. You ever have a bird and you clip its wings to keep it from flying away? That's what the Kings
You've done
are
that before?
You have to.
You've clipped a bird's wings?
I haven't clipped their wings, but I've had people clip my bird's wings so they don't fly away.
Really? That's a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
But then it is cool when you let your bird fly in your house. They love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like?
You got to be.
You don't be ducking and everything.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Who's our backup 4 going to be now?
Reno,
Isaac Jones.
Okay.
Could be.
Right. Do we give Isaac some burn? Does he fit in at all?
He'll get a shot, but I think it's got to be Maxime Reno, doesn't it?
Damn. Already, huh? So you got JV, you got Sabonis, you got Isaac and Reno. Is that our 4-man?
I think so. I think we need some help in that area. Can we agree on that? That should be. I'd
like one more guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what has kind of driven me crazy since the end of the season with all the focus on the point guard. Need a point guard. I know point guard's a really important position, but they need some length. They need some size. They need somebody in the front court to be competitive.
Maybe Reno is, but that's a second rounder we're talking about.
I know.
Are we asking for a second rounder to come in?
People are like, well, he's starting. Who's our starting lineup? And Nick Clifford's starting. It's just this roller coaster of emotions. We thought we were on a roller coaster, 2 years ago? And I know you said, I'm off the roller coaster. Roller coaster has to stop.
Done.
Roller coaster, if anything, is more extreme than ever.
It's bad right now. It's bad right now.
Yeah.
In 1 week, Scott Perry went from the greatest thing to what the hell is he doing? In 3 days. It was crazy. But this Dennis Schroder move, if I'm a Kings fan, I would be excited for this because we need a point guard. We need a gamer. We said we need a defense, somebody that won't get, Schroeder's not going to get picked on. He's not a negative defender out there. And he may not be a closer, but when the games matter and it's he's balling out there.
Mm-hmm. Somebody keeps saying here, ball is coming to the Kings. Schroeder back up.
He just got traded. Yeah, to Cleveland. Come on. Stay up on the NBA news.
Don't be sad, Drapes. I'll jump on the Schroeder bus with you.
Get on now because there's going to be a lot of people jumping on the Schroeder bus bandwagon, if you will. I'm excited.
It's got a siren in it. Since he's German, it's one of those German sirens that goes
like in Europe over there.
Yes,
I've heard those bad boys before.
Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz is coming up, and anything else happens in free agency, we'll let you know next. Sacktown Sports.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Keon.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. That's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples. That was easy. In-store, online, and on the app.
This summer, give your kids a reason to smile, brightly. At Kids Care Dental, we make dental visits fun with a kid-friendly team, easy to schedule appointments, and expert doctors who really care.
Whether it's a checkup, a cleaning, or their very first visit, we've got you covered. We accept most insurances, and we're always ready when your schedule gets hectic.
Smiles grow here. Book online in minutes at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com. Kids Care Dental, where healthy teeth make happy kids.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The 4th of July, it's all about family, fireworks, and freedom. And this 4th of July, Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is offering your family the freedom to choose America's brand at the guaranteed lowest price in town. This 4th of July, the fireworks are starting early at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You can check out one of Northern California's largest selections for yourself at sacssuperstore.com, where you'll find the lowest prices on the new Ram, Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, the whole lineup. Centrally located across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course, and visit them online to see their full selection and their guaranteed lowest prices at sacssuperstore.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
I was just taking some shots at whoever on the text line here is saying, oh, the Kings are going to get Ball. As you pointed out, Drapes, Lonzo's been traded. Person says, no, the other Ball. You heard it here first.
LaMelo?
That's who Perry wants.
Oh, shoot.
I don't think so.
Dang, he's big fish hunting.
Yeah, nothing against LaMelo, because that's Jay's guy. But if you're a GM and you're trying to put together a team that plays defense, LaMelo Ball is not on your list.
That's anti-Scott Perry and Doug, right?
Yeah, I think
he's
so.
Flashy and everything.
Yeah. I have seen some reporting that said, one of the reasons Charlotte got Sexton is because LaMelo's hurt so much. At least now they have somebody that they can have run the point.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and maybe also run point, have LaMelo play off the ball a little bit.
And a veteran, too. Sexton's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
He's still young, but he's got 6-7 years in the league. And so, no, it's a solid move. I actually like what Charlotte has been able to do this offseason in terms of getting some veterans out there, so the young players that, they're doing some things down there. I like what they've been able to do.
We have to conclude, don't we, that the market for Sexton wasn't what we would thought it would be if they had to include a sweetener to get Nurkic for him?
Right?
Especially if Tony Jones says they had to get rid of him.
Had to get rid of him. Needed to clear some room. You would think like a contender would be interested in a player like that. His value was low. Terrible. Man.
Yeah. Get back to Kuminga for a minute, and it looks like everything with Kuminga is kind of slowed down, and maybe they figure things out between he and the Warriors, and if they don't, it's probably going to take a while. But Kuminga, I could see how if you're the Kings, I mean, I have to squint to see it, but again, given that you need wings, and he's a guy that's very talented and he's very young, he could be available, I could see how you'd be, kicking the tires on that. I wouldn't do it, but yeah.
Let me ask you this. Are we in the same category as Charlotte, you think? Are we in the same boat as them? Or, you know what I mean? In terms of, are we in the market to be kicking the tires on players who might not fit or didn't work out?
Charlotte's just so young, though.
Right.
They have so many good young players that it hasn't come together yet. And the Kings, if you look at it as a circle, like if you're at the top, you're a contender. Like OKC right now is at the top. OKC is at the top, and then Charlotte maybe is, they hope they're on the upswing. They're on the bottom coming up. I don't know that they are. I don't know where the Kings are on that.
Right.
That competitive circle. Because they're older, and they've kind of been been stuck on the bottom where you're not really getting much better, but you're not terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We're just stuck there. But we're in a better, we're better right now than Charlotte, but their potential.
Yeah, they have a chance to.
They actually,
and the Kings don't have that much potential, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless they start accumulating some of these younger assets. I really do think, the more I think about it, the more we talk about it, the Kings are trying to do two things at once. They're trying to stay competitive with veterans while they bring in young talent that's going to create a pathway to a brighter future. And it's just really tough to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Like you said earlier, you got to thread the needle. They're trying to thread the needle here with the moves. And like somebody said, I think it was on the text line, it's going to take some time. It doesn't happen overnight for Sacramento. And so if Schroder is the guy, he's a really good stopgap for the Kings.
Right now it's time for Whitey's Way Back Machine quiz for Monday, the 30th of June. July is almost here.
I know, right? Can you tell Jay what happened last quiz on Friday?
What do you think happened, Jay? We had Kyle Draper against Ramsey.
Oh, he took the L again, bro?
I smacked Ramsey up. Ramsey was reeling. He was trying to do the rope-a-dope. He was like this, trying to duck those punches, big fella.
I thought last time you said he had got you a couple times because he got lucky or he was.
But I was locked in.
Guessing or something. It was something you was.
You think Ramsey was overconfident, Drapes?
Yeah, Friday? a little bit.
You overlooked it?
I know. He thought I was. He had owned me. Give him credit. Out? Yeah, but I was dialed in for that one.
It's brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Everything in the quiz happened on this date, or is related to things that happened on this date in the following years. So, are you our overall champion now?
Yes, I'm still, because I beat Jay last time too.
No, didn't we tie?
Yeah, but I held the belt.
You got the belt.
Yeah. So you're up first today, Drapes. Here's the years we have in the quiz for today: 1978, 1993, 1994, 1995, 1999, and 2016. 1993. It is the closest.
Yeah, Jay can go first.
Jay, this day, 1993, Orlando takes Chris Webber with the first pick in the draft, but trades him to the Warriors for Penny Hardaway and how many future number one picks? Chris Hardaway. Chris Webber. Chris Webber, taken by Orlando, first pick. They trade him to the Warriors for Penny Hardaway.
Yep.
And how many future number one picks?
That happened this day. Oh, wow.
This day, 1993.
Gave up some future ones.
Yeah.
I'll go with 2.
2. Kyle Draper?
3.
3 is correct.
Dude, Jay, I thought you had that one. I was like, oh, man.
They gave up 3 first-round picks.
And Penny Hardaway. Or Chris
That's
Webber.
a lot.
Yeah. Yes. All right, Drapes with the 1-0 lead. Over to you, Jay. 78, 94, 95, 99, and 2016.
95.
1995 is
Steve
multiple
Avery.
choice. Eddie Murray, this day, 1995, joins the 3,000 hit club.
Okay.
He does so as a member of what team? The Mets, the Dodgers, or Cleveland? Eddie Murray, 3,000 hit club, this day, 1995. Wearing the uniform of what team? The Mets, the Dodgers, or Cleveland?
Wow.
He played for a lot of teams.
Yeah, he sure did. I don't remember him even playing for. I'm going to say Cleveland.
And you would be right.
Yes, sir.
Nice one, Jay.
Yeah,
Okay.
1-1.
Okay.
Back to Kyle Draper. 78, 94, 99, 2016.
2016.
2016. Multiple choice.
All right, let's do it.
This date, 2016. What team becomes the first team since 1976 to let the pitcher bat instead of using a designated hitter? 2016, first team since 1976 to say, we don't want the DH, going to let the pitcher bat. Was
Since
it
1976?
Yeah.
Really?
Was
Damn.
it the Angels, the Giants, or the Dodgers?
Giants. And this, what year is this?
2016, sir.
Giants.
Correct. You know why? You know who it was?
No, who is it?
Madison Bum.
That's what I thought. That's what I
Mad
thought.
Bum.
I was like, hold up
Yeah.
now.
I think he hit a big double in the
Yeah.
early game against the A's. Wow.
Your boys, weren't you shocked? Come on, big fella.
No, I'm not shocked.
Oh,
I'm
right.
saying, wow, this is a good game.
Yeah,
a good match.
All right.
2-1, back to Jay. 78, 94, 99. Drapes
Go
with a 2-1 lead.
1994. I'm going to stay right there.
1994.
Rafael Palmeiro.
Multiple choice again, Jay.
All right.
Your favorite team. What giant outfielder is charged with an error after 392 consecutive error-free games? But on this date, 94, who? Willie McGee, Darren Lewis, Barry Bonds. Drapes with the 2-1 lead. Good match. This date, 1994, what giant outfielder charged with an error after 392 consecutive error-free games? Willie McGee, Darren Lewis, Barry Bonds. It's a big point right here in the match.
Yeah, this is massive.
I'm going with D. Lou.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Jay, come on.
Yes, sir.
2-2.
Go with D.
You gotta
Lou,
get
baby.
lucky with the guesses.
Come on, baby.
Jay doesn't miss his Giants
Let's
question.
go, D. Lou.
You put the pressure on me. Dang. Okay.
2-2. Drapes, 1978, 1999. 1999. It's the closest two.
Jay can go.
All right, Jay, this date, 1999. The Bulls draft Elton Brand with the number 1 pick. With what pick do the Spurs take Manu Ginobili? Number 1, Elton Brand of the Bulls. With what pick do the Spurs take Manu Ginobili? In the 1999 NBA draft. Quite a match here, 2-2.
Ooh, this is tough.
I'm going with
Closest to, Jay will make his guess.
20. Ooh, man. I'm going 23rd.
23rd pick?
24.
The answer is 57. 57th pick.
I don't remember him going in the second round.
Yeah, he was this late second round. I knew that one.
I don't remember him going in the second round.
3-2, Katie.
Like he was a back end of the first.
Jay needs this one.
Don't worry about it. I got it.
It's a closest to, Jay.
Okay.
1978. You want to go first? You want Drapes to go first?
Let Drake goes first.
All right, Drapes. This date, 1978. Willie McCovey becomes just the 12th player to hit 500 career homers. How many players currently are in the 500 home run club? In 1978, Willie McCovey became the 12th. Right now, how many players currently are in the 500 home run club?
In this what year? 1978?
78, he was the 12th, yeah.
Damn, this is tough.
Graves is going into the stall figuring, well, if I tie, I still keep my belt.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what I tie. Oh, yeah, what time we out? Oh, yeah, you got a bonus.
You got a minute.
Jake stretching. Like, no, you got a minute.
Yeah.
So 12 and 78 carry to 1. Do the math.
So how many players right now in the 500 home run club?
24.
24. Jay? How many players currently in the 500 home run club? This date, 78, Willie McCovey became the 12th member of that club.
Yeah. Let's add a few to it. You got the Griffeys, you got the Sosas, you got the McGuires, you got the Tomes, you got the Albert. I mean the Pujols. You got the
Bondsman, Sosa,
17,
McGuire.
That's 18. How many did you say?
He said 24.
25.
The answer is 28.
Oh, so close.
And it's a tie match.
Gotta go. I got appointments today.
We got about 6 seconds.
Great match. We're back with you tomorrow. Stick around. We got more sports talk on the first day of free agency coming up. Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturer,